bagels, guys. Hear me out. Is just a plain Einstein's bagel with
way.
wait. With it's gotta have the schmear on it, okay? It's gotta have the good schmear.
I thought that he was gonna say something else, and I was about to say RFDL After Dark is tomorrow.
I love the schmear, but they have a hash brown bagel fire. Come on.
Okay, you know what? That's fair. Hash brown bagel's goated. So you know what? I stand corrected. Docky is right.
And
hash brown bagel is goated.
Well, welcome on back to the Bagel Cast 2025. I'm Ecliptic Fades with Fire and Docky, and we are about ready to start RFDL Week 11 for you guys with our first match that we're going to just start talking about immediately. Twisted Tails versus Big Dragon Squad. This is going to be a very interesting match coming up, guys.
I mean, yeah, Twisted Tails, a team that we're still waiting to see them play at their full potential. And once they do, they're going to be scary. But BDS, a lot of people would say they are already playing at their full potential. So, scary team for Twisted Tails to go up against, but we'll need to see how it works out.
Yeah, this is like the perfect test for this team, too. I mean, this is a really high offense team that can really push you to test your defensive rotations and how tight you're able to make sure that someone's always back, make sure you're not overcommitting. And as we know, they've been playing a lot together, so this will be a good test to see test for them. And I can absolutely see this going either way, so I think it'll be good.
Yeah, I have to agree. I think this is going to be a really nice match. Obviously, BDS, a very scary team to be playing against for any team with how aggressive they are. As we talked about in the pre-show, they had a sub last week, so we didn't really get to see them at their full potential. But talking about them coming into today, Reverb is back and fully focused and ready to go. And I believe, if I'm correct, he might be playing on Breakout today. So very scary for Twisted Tails, but not impossible. You guys just got to know the weaknesses of BDS and how to exploit them. We'll have to see if they're able to do that. But you can never also count out Rue the Fuzzy, because they have made some incredible goals as well in this league. I think we all remember the insane 0-second one that they got a little while back.
I mean, yeah, Rue the Fuzzy, great third player for that team, but yeah, I mean, the Mazer Reverb combo, dare I even say, might be looking even more deadly than the Taka Javian combo. That might be a hot take, but they've been looking very strong lately. So, I mean, yeah, this team is scary to go up against, and not gonna lie, I'm glad it's not my team going up against them.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. We know what we expect with this team. They've done kind of like the same thing every single week, and why wouldn't they? It's worked for them so well. They are basically 90% offense with a bunch of flashy plays. They don't really need to be on defense just because of how much pressure they put on the other team. And even when they are on defense, they're really good at it. But they don't really need to be on defense that often. So yeah, we'll see if someone's able to put a stop to that kind of play style. But yeah, my goodness.
And it's going to be the final chance for a team to do so in this half of league play. And that final opportunity is going to be going over to the new Twisted Tails roster. We're going to have Skifty, Liska, and Golden trying to take down this BDS squad. Only a few teams have been able to do it so far. Will they be able to cement their names in this half of league play as another team able to do it? They've been looking they looked a little shaky last week. We kind of thought that the extra playtime that they had was going to be to their benefit, but they just didn't look like they were in sync that entire match. We'll have to see if they can bring that back a little bit coming into this weekend here.
I mean, yeah, this is definitely a team with a high skill ceiling. They just haven't quite unlocked it yet. And I think what I'm going to be looking for this week in them is I kind of want to, because we've seen how Liska can play when she's really free to play really fast and really offensively focused. So just because of that, I think I'm going to be looking to Golden to potentially see him maybe play a little bit slower, maybe a little bit more defensive / rotationally focused than we've seen him play the past couple weeks. And then I'm also going to be looking to see if Skifty is able to really assist in Liska and putting on that offensive pressure and seeing those two really start to synergize on the offensive side of the ball. So, I mean, I think if they're able to do that, they're going to be really strong. But yeah, we'll just need to see if they're able to pull that off this week.
Yeah, Docky, any thoughts on Twisted Tales?
Liska goated.
Goated. Gotta agree with that. Well, I mean, I don't know if there's too much more to say about these teams. I think that they both are ready to go to the field and just show what they have for this week. So I think if everybody else is ready here, the final thing we got to do before we get into this is there's one thing we didn't do during the podcast, and that was get our predictions out, guys. So let's go ahead and get our predictions going for this match now. Me and Arilax, we wrote down our predictions preemptively during the week before everything started. So my prediction for this one is Big Dragon Squad in 4. I think Big Dragon Squad looks really good. Twisted Tales, I like what I'm seeing from them from that first week, but seeing them last week made me doubt them just a tiny little bit. And if you're going up against a BDS team with an in-form Reverb, I want to see some at least a game 4. A game 4 would make me happy. I would love to see a game 5. But I just think BDS has the advantage here.
I mean, yeah, I think it would. Yeah, I think it would be a bit crazy with how BDS has been playing to not have them as the favorites against most of the league. So, I mean, I hope it's not this, but you know what? No. I think I'm going to give Twisted Tales a game on this one. So yeah, I'll say just like you, Fade, BDS in 4. And we will see if Twisted Tales is able to take it further than that, because I think they definitely have the potential to.
You guys both did in VS and 4?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I am going to say I think BDS loses in 5. Give me Twisted Tales.
Ooh.
Okay.
Spicy.
Is he just avoiding the caster curse? Because Arilax said BDS in 4. So he's avoiding the death curse with this. I see your move, Docky. Smart play, smart play. But that's all we really have for this part, guys. You know what we got to do. We got to let the players talk for themselves. And so it is time to start our first match of the day. It's going to be Twisted Tales versus BDS. The Battle of Pinks, not something we really talked about. But we've also got a little bit of a surprise for you guys. Casters, have fun.
What's goody gangy as we get into this match? So I just want to talk about something real quick. No, but hey, so what are your thoughts on this hash brown sandwich that they were talking about at the earlier start?
I honestly don't know.
You know, that's a good goal from Miza to get there. Beautiful pass. Honestly, in my opinion, hey, look, I love the triple OG's, pancakes. I think they're better than whatever this sandwich they're talking about, honestly, I think that one might be a top G, best one.
Then you're talking about sandwiches.
God, these guys. So anyways, as we get to the match, Skifty with a nice dribble, 50 flick over to the corner. Getting 50'd off of, rather. Reverb now looking for a pass. Getting 50'd out. Good clear by Skifty. Pixel Kanto trying to put this bet to the backboard. Reverb up with them as well. Gets cleared away. Liska looking to power this, but gets beat by Meezer. If it's knocked out. Looking for a shot. Gets it over. Skifty, a beautiful play, might I add, Nova.
Really, yeah. I mean, a lot of offensive possession, I think, there from Big Dragon Squad. Twisted Tail's getting some good clears, but... Yeah.
Indeed, indeed. Golden with a nice one off of that kickoff a little bit to help the team get at least to that. So Kanto over a play. Reverb. Clear it out in the field. One goes for the quick challenge to keep it at least in the corner. Want it at least out of that half. They don't want to get too far. A little backflip. A little bit of a panic on the goal line of Twisted Tails, but they managed to escape it just fine. Liska tries to go for the bump. Kanto does not feel bothered. Gets saved away by Golden.
No, I just noticed it, and I gotta point that out. I don't know what card it is, but it's an interesting card choice from, who is it? Golden, I think?
I think that would be Reverb.
Reverb? I can't tell. Let me...
We were told by the desk before this that Golden is actually, I think, in a card. You are right about that. We got 2 strange cards in here. The ones that don't really get used that much. So you get a 50 by Meezer. A beautiful shot, beautiful pass play from Meezer and Reverb to get that into the net around the defense of Twisted Tails. It was beautiful.
If it works, I guess. Reverb in the backfire, I think.
I totally just started an ad break.
Oh no!
Wow.
Fade.
Can we get a hashtag NA production in the chat?
Production. Good save.
For those of you who are subscribed to the RFDL show, we appreciate you. Appreciate your patronage. Welcome to the sub-only section of the RFD casting. So you see Meezer trying to put a shot to the backboard. Miss by Skifty, but Liska is able to clear it away. Going for one more. Wants the bump. Pixel's not going to let it happen. And Reverb, a flick away. He definitely could have got that, but it just, I guess, for style points, keep it out. They are up by 3, so there's not really much in terms of scoring. So definitely a lot more for wanting to get it away. A beautiful redirect. Hello?
Didn't need to do it, but you know what? Why not? Style points, right?
Hey, it is what it is, honestly.
For the entertainment.
And now, with 4 up, they get another kickoff here. Twisted Tails is looking for at least some comeback steam. And they find it in these 2 minutes that we have here. Skifty up in the air. Gonna get that nice clear away. Wants to set it up. Reverb, pass out. Now to the backboard for Liska. Gets one more touch. Here comes Golden. Other touch to the wall. Skifty with the shot on net is able to find that first shot for the game. This might be the lead that they need, or lead that they're looking for at some point. It might be a bit of ways before we see it, Nova.
It's not much, but it always feels better whenever you at least score 1, because at least you know that back line isn't like impenetrable, you know. Oh, good 50 there from. There's that Golden there on the back line. Little miss there. Reverb gets a touch to it. Golden's gonna get a clear. Misa's immediate layer. It seems like somebody's always there in the midfield for Big Dragon Squad to just shut out these clears and just keep offensive possession in their favor.
And Reverb. And that over the corner. Meezer looking to set this back up. Let's go. Able to clear it away. Nobody from the Big Dragon Squad able to get to that. So now, Kanto pops it high. Golden fakes out. Doesn't want to get to it. Looking for one more. Skifty's there. Gets one more touch. Looking for another. Gets beat by Reverb. It gets sent down the field. Liska looking for control, but just misses the touch. Was it enough to fake out the team of Bad Dragon Squad? Can't tell. Clear out to the corner. Now passing along the goal line. Getting a nice challenge, a very open net, but Whew. Big Dragon Squad is able
Close
to get
one there.
there in time. Now clear
what a
out
clear.
to Reverb. With 20 seconds left, it's not looking too good for Twisted Tails here. Means you're able to get back to that in time. There's not much you can do. All you need is a bunch of kickoffs at this point, but it's not going to happen. Big Dragon Squad is going to take this game. Not much you can do with 5 seconds left.
Yeah, not much. But at least you know you can get a goal, goals in the net, and they had some decent offensive possession there later in the game, but 4 goals just too much there. Just too much for them.
Now, would you rather? Would you rather?
Would I rather?
Would you rather? Would you rather? A dragon or a cheetah? As we get these replays through the
I don't
roof.
know, man.
But honestly, I'm more
Hit me
of
with
like
the hard-hitting
cheetah guy, so it's like. Okay, how about this? I'll put it this way since it's more favorable to you. Dragons or foxes?
Oh, foxes. Can't betray my
I
own.
feel like this is a
my own
biased
kind.
casting desk.
Very biased.
Just ignoring the
Very
background,
biased.
background stuff. No. Anyways, we'll get ready for the next match here as we get the players all set up and ready to go for game 2.
This is a great casting duo.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Fantastic.
Full chaotic, just mess up the flow for fades here, and you're just not gonna make it fair at all. So, as we await our next match here, we get started. I don't like Golden. I don't like Golden's vehicle. I just doesn't look. I don't know. It's just
You don't
not
like
a car
it?
you see normally.
You're not a big fan of the.
No,
I don't even know what it is.
I really don't know what that one is. I'm not gonna
Oh.
lie to you. Did you just load in the wrong game?
NA
Hashtag NA
production.
production chat. There you go. So, anyways, let's give him some fun. We'll do some more background stuff in the league. Let's see. I don't have any stats at all. Give me some stats. Give me some trivia while we do this.
And I didn't really get any stats from game 1. All I have is the stats from the series.
Oh, hey, I just noticed we're on game
It's an
2.
L on my part.
Man, these players are really
Little-
fast. How
oh.
did they set up this quick?
They're just
Anyways,
really
nice
good.
dribble. Nice dribble from Meezer. Really nice dribble. Let's go.
I thought Lisco was gonna get to that, man. That kind of.
It was a very good try from Liska to try to get to it, but it's just not there. Now, 50 out towards Meezer, as Meezer is already up for this one, looking dangerous. Liska misses a
Ooh.
touch. Goes for the flip reset.
Oh,
Beautiful save by Skip to get there and block that. It was a late flip reset, but they were able to get to it. Now Reverb with the clear. Goes for a ground play, but can't
A
get
bump?
to it. Nice bump play to try to get through, but Golden's going to save them from doing any more damage. As it goes to the backboard of their net. Skipty with the clear away. Now to the wall. Meezer's going to beat Liska to it. Golden's going to clear it away. Now an open net situation. Golden's going to find it. A beautiful demo from Twisted Tails to open that up for Golden to find that straight net. Beautiful bump from Skipty too.
I mean, given how well that demo worked out for them, you think there's a chance that's what they start going to maybe a little more, trying to create some more chaos in transition, maybe lead to some more open nets, or at least more one-on-ones. I say that Reverb up. Went for the double, couldn't quite get it. Golden now has a one-on-one, gets demoed. He's just gonna stay this to his corner, get boost. Doesn't have boost though. Little 50-50 there and a great pinch out from Reverb. into the Twisted Tails corner. Has to get a touch there. Great touch there from Liska. Little pinch there. Puts a interesting shot here. Golden up for it. Good save from Kanto. Let's go with him. Maybe a fake or a miss. Not sure which. They're bumped up from Skifty. Has control. Reaver makes the save. Back out into his own corner. They're just bouncing around this big Dragon Squad corner. No, Meezer gets some control and is going to go for the boost here. Up off the wall, maybe looking for a reset, a double off the backboard. No, off the post, but Reverb there for the follow-up. And it's 2-1 here with 2:57 left.
Unlucky. Liska just misreading that. Golden had full trust in their teammate, as you should. It's just things happen in a way. A beautiful backboard read from Big Dragon Squad to get that in. Now they're up by 1. Reverb looking to put it up by 2, but can't really get the touch that they want. Skifty, a flick, blocked by Kanto, now to the back wall. Liska looking to pass it out mid. Can't get the second touch or the touch they wanted at all. Beautiful distraction. Golden gets the touch. Skifty looking to put it to the backboard. Maybe a double tap in the way, but it's not going to happen. Liska back to the backboard again. Golden can't get the touch either. Now it's an open net situation, but Golden distract Meezer enough just to get to that. As Liska wanting to put that on the net. Blocked away by Reverb. Shot down as well. Blocked by Skifty. Beautiful way to get there in time. And Twisted Tails, they still need that 1 goal. They can find it right here. It might make things easier, even though there's 2 minutes.
We'll say this one's a
set up a play.
This one's a lot closer than the last one. 2-1. Definitely feels like Twisted Tails has kind of come into this one a little bit more, keeping more possession in the Big Dragon Squad half.
Indeed. I just think it was just, first game, warmies,
Oh yeah.
Shakies.
Sometimes you just gotta, shake the nerves off, shake the jitters off,
Who knows? Maybe they had like bad gas in their game 1 cars. Maybe their game 2 cars are a lot better.
Definitely looking like it.
I wonder what kind of gas they put in RO cars. What do you think? Like premium 85,
Meanwhile, Meezer
90?
just carries that right into the net.
Oh yeah.
I think Meezer has rocket
Beautiful
fuel in
touch.
his.
He might actually. Strap a couple of pretend rocket boosters on the side of his car. You wouldn't even notice. Meezer. Up for that one. Gets it around. Skifty. Looking for one more. Liska is going to put that to the side. Here comes Kanto. A little bit of a late touch than what Liska thought it was going to be. Golden tries to make a play to put it out. They're now down by 2 from that last goal that just happened. They need 2 more to at least tie it to keep them in from being away at risk. A triple match point game. And Skiffy looking for a play. Reverb getting top 1. Liska trying to get it out to the mid. Not as far as they want, but Skifty's able to get a 50 down. Could go in, but Reverb's there. Now touch to the wall. Looking to get one in. Much better car from our boy Golden here.
Oh,
Beautiful Honda Civic.
a little clear there. Getting it out of their own position. Now it's almost in their own net. Meezer.
And of course, beautiful 50 read from Meezer. Way to be there in the middle.
What a read. Just an unfortunate 50 if you're a Twisted Tail supporter. But it's a great read from Meezer. And it's looking like Twisted Tail is going to go on double match point. I had to be done with.
Well, as they always say, it is what it is. Not too much of hope in terms of trying to get that. Maybe this car switching thing could work for Golden on the team of Twisted Tails. We should see. They seem to be switching a lot of cars so far. I think they've swapped like 2 or 3 cars. I can't remember entirely, but beautiful plays here from Big Dragon Squad to keep it up. Good attempts by Twisted Tails to at least keep it close for the first few minutes as well. Just weren't able to keep it tight. They let it get too far in the games. Let too many of the open nets, and Big Dragon Squad just had some really good plays in between Reverb and Meezer. Reverb and Meezer really cooking. I will say that's a really good duo right now.
Yeah, I mean, Meezer really like seemingly orchestrating a lot of the goals this game. The second one and then like the last 2 there. You gotta have an answer for that. I think if you want to not get swept or even just win the series, if you're thinking that far ahead.
I'm gonna stay true to my word. Stay true to my word. I think Twisted Tails should come back on us. We could see it. We could possibly see it. Players are obviously ready to go. They're sitting, they're in their game 3 cars. They're looking spicy. We'll see what the games will give us as we hop into that game 3. Get a kickoff here. Ooh, Reverb misses that kickoff and decides to put it in reverse Terry as he tries to get to the ball. Geto leaving that for Reverb as it gets 15 off his hood. Now to the middle. Golden tried to doomsday it, but couldn't get it there. No player was available for him anyways.
Little double commit there.
Double commit. It's Golden up in the air, looking for at least a play, but has no boost in the tank to do anything with. Another double commit.
Double commit, open net.
And there it is. Reverb scooping that one up. Just an unfortunate play. Liska and Skifty going up at the same time for the same ball. It's not what you want to see if you're at the, match point game for Twisted Tails.
Just an unfortunate scenario there for unfortunate situation there for Twisted Tails. Just a double commit on the front end that lets them get it out, and then a double commit on the back end that just gives them an open net. Now what you want to see if you're trying to hope for somehow a reverse sweep or even just going to game 4 or game 5. But it's only 1-0, and we've seen some decent offensive possession out of Twisted Tails in the last 2 games. So let's see if they can lead it to something as that one bounces off the post and out. Shot here again, off the post again, and that second touch just not what you wanted. Bounces it away from Golden, I believe, who was there for the follow-up.
Can we be real for a second? Let's take a look at our boy Golden's car when it comes back over at some point.
Skip. Oh,
beautiful play, mind
little
you.
flippy set there, I think.
Very good pop, a beautiful flip reset. Nice angle to get that into the net over Kanto's head. I don't know what car Golden is driving, but throw that thing in the dumpster. We call that the grade A garbage car. Get that out of here. Nobody wants that. Scarab is better anyways, honestly. See a lot of back and forth going on here.
I'll agree to disagree about the Scarab.
Look, man, y'all just don't know how to be the ball. Like, it's literally a ball. Just be the ball. Ooh, a nice play this time in. Oh, it's just, you know what? Never mind. It's just Meezer and Reverb back at it again.
Once again.
This duo, so far, has been scary for these past 2 matches, and now this one, with all these passing plays that we're seeing lately. I'm not gonna lie, dogs are better than cats is a crazy statement.
As a list. Oh, we got a tie game again.
God.
Good little touch there from Skifty to beat Meezer, and basically just an open net for Liska.
Someone clown this Golden guy. Rolls in a clown car. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, Meezer looking for a shot down the field. Can't get it down there in time. Skifty Trying to pop that away. Golden now defense mode. Wanting to get it away. Liska, mistouch. Not really what you want in terms of being it, but at least they're tied. There's not much to worry about. Liska gets that off to the back. Looks to pass it towards Golden. A beautiful touch by Meezer to keep it at least away from Golden, or at least make it different for Golden to hit the ball. Very interesting play. They're going to let Skifty have fun with it. Very good choice in terms of patience, but is it the right choice? Slisky gets that to the wall. Wants to get one more, but Kanto is going to beat them to it. And now, Meezer wanting that pass again. Reverb still lurking in the background. Beautiful 50 by Skifty to keep it away. Kanto and control. Gets it down to the ground around 1. Golden, not enough boost. Gets it towards Skifty. Skifty decides to opt away as Liska passes over to Skifty. Skifty tries to make a shot, but blocked away by Meezer. Still tied with 1 minute 35. Nova, how are you feeling over there?
Let's get him.
Oh, never mind.
Well, looking better, and now we get a good look at the car, and good lord. But what?
Oh my god.
What a play from Golden, just
outta
50
here.
and like 50 is just like everybody there on the back line, and gets a goal there at the near post. 3-2 with 1:33 to play. But we'll see if they can keep shutting down that duo.
Crash that Protogen's software. Like, shut it down, crash it. What is this car?
I retract my former statement on the what car was it? Oh, what a redirect. Can't remember the name. Not important.
Breakout or the Scarab?
The Scarab, there we go. He's here low boost.
Scarab's triple OG because it's a ball.
A little skim there. A little bit of a miss. You know, this has been a lot better. Like, as the games has gone on, it just seems like Twisted Tail's possession in the offensive third is just a lot better. They're able to like, keep suffocating them a bit, force them in weird situations, and just keep winning those 50s that in game 1 they didn't seem to be winning as much. As that's a great save from Liska.
Oh,
Oh,
close. Good attempt. As we see Kanto trying to make some pressure onto it. Golden up in the air, gets beat by Meezer. Good attempt by Golden to get there in time. Maybe if he was in an Octane or like a, you know, a Finnick or a Dominus or hell, even a Scarab, maybe they would have got to that one. But they got beaten to the play either way, and now we're tied again with 20 seconds left of the clock. We could see an OT.
I get an OT here. But given what we've seen so far this game, there is a chance that somebody finds the net before even as it hits 0.
With 3 seconds left, pop up in the air. Looking to keep it up
Still
as best
up,
as they
now it's
can.
one
It's not
down.
going to happen. Liska is going to be the one to put it down to the ground for OT in game 3. Match point game for Big Dragon Squad. All they need is 1 goal, and they can end Twisted Tail's run here. They're doing a lot better than they have
already up
been
again.
in the past few.
Down the reverb. That duo of Meezer and Reverb is just gets more and more terrifying, it seems. That's a big miss. But nobody's there to capitalize on the open net.
Dodged a bullet there for Twisted Tails. They managed to get out of there in time. Somehow, they didn't get scored on. But, you know, as Rocket League players will say, we'll take it. We're not going to question it. We're going to move on and pretend it didn't happen. Pretend that there was somebody there. Our friend Casper is always the best defense.
Once again, it seemed a little awkward there.
Oh, yeah, indeed. They're trying anything. They're doing a lot of slow plays, I've noticed. For now. Mind you.
Yeah. They're just kind of throwing things out and just seeing what works, and so far the slow plays have allowed them to not get scored on as much.
Whoa.
And as I say that, that almost goes in. Would have been an insane caster curse right there as soon as I say it for them to concede, but Still going on here in
Not
OT.
a caster curse
130.
Twisted Tails once, though. Especially being in that match point game. Meezer with control. This could be it. Skifty's able to get it
Oh, what a
away to
save.
the wall. Beautiful save. Now Reaper's turn. It goes off the back wall looking for a double tap. But a little bit too wide. Not able to capitalize on it. Comes a third attempt. Not going to happen this time. They're making it very sketchy here in the 2-minute mark. Can they keep it out or can they win it?
I think
Game
someone
4 is an
there
option.
on Twisted Tails just got a bump. And that bump was just enough to prevent anybody from being able to get over to the ball in time and put it in that empty net again. And that's a great shot.
My.
But the defense comes out strong again. Twisted Tails just refusing to go out like this.
This is definitely a make or break situation. This is put all your marbles on the table, hope you win it, and
Good
go
bump
to
down
game
the back
4
line.
and try to get it there. Now it opens up. Kick away. A little bit of a miscommunication there as Meezer sits and waits. Running that play a little bit. Now Liska wants it badly, but is not going to get it. Look out. Now it's over to Golden, who gets a touch. A very awkward touch, mind you. It could open up for dangerous plays. They get one more away. Meezer now over to the other corner. Reverb looking to try to catch up to this one. Liska wants it. Gets a touch. Skifty steals the boost away from Reverb. Bumps him as well. This is the touch. I would have gotten that if you were an Octane or a Finnick or Ominous. Scarab.
You're just going to keep hating on the car.
Oh yeah, I'm just going to make it a bit at this point. A nice bump to keep it away from going in any dangerous direction. Now Skifty getting challenged by Meezer. Gets it around 1.
One of the bump
Pixel Kanto misses. Reverb's able to get there in time. Beautiful clear. Now we're in the 3-minute 30-second of this OT. It's still tied.
Shot.
Golden looks
What
for
a
the shot. A beautiful shot. I'm hearing a bump came out as well. Was focused on everything else other than that.
Look at that
Very
bump.
nice.
Oh.
Get it around. Meezer just not in time. Of course, it's this weird car that scores the goal of all things. It's still a bad car. I don't care what y'all say.
I mean, hey, the car worked. The car worked. The car worked.
That's what they all say. But
The
I
car
think it was
worked.
a fluke. I think it was a fluke. Run it back. Run
Now
it
look.
back.
We can talk about the boost sound, but the car was working, all right?
Look. If you get distracted by the boost sound, that's a skill issue.
That is true.
But now let's say you're using like the thermal where it blocks 90% of the view. Good luck, buddy. I learned my lesson the hard way. I have experience. God, I don't like it. It's got little arms on its front.
Oh, don't get me wrong. It's a weird car, but once again, it works, so I can't knock it. If it works, it works.
Beautiful clears, though, mind you. These are good plays setups for the whole team. Beautiful passing play from Meezer and Reverb just didn't happen. And then the shot from Golden, fantastic. Good plays from everyone on that team. They were able to keep it up for 3 minutes and 30 seconds, all the way up to 4 minutes. We didn't get past 4 minutes. I wonder if we'll see a 5-minute OT at some point this week.
You gotta aim for the stars. You gotta shoot for a 10-minute OT.
Honestly, I like that idea. I want that to happen while I'm at FWA.
Not
I'm
my
not gonna
series,
lie.
please.
I need that.
Not in my series, please. I couldn't handle the stress of playing 15 minutes of continuous Rocket League.
Nah, I think it would be funny if it did. You know what? In fact, I'm gonna pay the other team to try to keep it at 0-0 for that long. I'm kidding. No bribe here. Reverb. If they pass out trying to get it there. 30 seconds of pass in this game 4. This is still match point for a Big Dragon squad. Twisted Tails really needs to win this one if they want to go to game 5. Have a chance.
I think I speak for everyone in the chat. Well, everyone except Big Dragon Squad fans that we want Game 5. Who doesn't want Game 5?
Honestly, I prefer Game 5. You know,
Game 5 is always fun.
It's just where the champions become champions. You know, bring out your inner Justin. You'll hear the "This is Rocket League" in the middle of the match. This is not good for Twisted Tails. A missed touch allows Reverb to find the most open nets of open nets. It's a shame that
and Meezer to
actually not
Reverb.
even a missed touch. It was just a very good pot from Meezer.
I mean, this Meezer Reverb duo is terrifying. They just always seem to find each other, and at that rate, you're just either hoping for a missed shot or that you can make the save, because it's not often that they don't find each other in those situations, it feels.
You want to know another random topic?
Oh no.
Hawaiian pizza is underrated.
That one's gonna definitely stir up some. That one's going to
Controversial or not, it's underrated.
rile up some people in the chat. I'm sure of it.
That is bussin' pizza. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Also, maybe for like the 3 people who are interested, Golden is in the Octane now.
Yes. Finally, the Protogen has decided to choose the correct software update and get that through. So, Skifty out to the mid. No one from Twisted Tails there. Never mind. Golden was there, just not fast enough to make a good play. Did keep it out to mid. Pass out to Meezer. Looks for the shot again with the Reverb and Meezer combo. This is stupid.
Just slots that ball top right. No way anybody's getting at that one.
Stupid as stupid good, by the way.
I'm happy I don't have to play this team. This duo is just on it today.
Like I'm telling you, you might be cooked. You play these guys, you cooked. You cooked. You gotta catch them on their bad day. I don't know. This might be their really good day, but
do they have a bad day?
I have no idea.
Didn't do enough research.
Now, open net. Skifty having to chase it down. These are looking to pass it out again to Reverb. Not gonna happen. Liska's gonna block that away. They have 2 goals that they need to get to. They can find it. They can have themselves out of risk.
And you got
the game 4 end.
Just under 2 minutes, 2 goals. It can happen, especially with kickoffs.
Absolutely.
But with this kind of offensive possession, you got to start getting back to their third and start creating chaos again. Good clearance out there.
Uh-oh.
Attempt to touch there from Kanto, but not enough.
Missed touch. They're going to let it go back. It's a wise decision. Meezer not in the right spot this time for Reverb.
Probably the first time I saw. Probably the first time I saw a pass from Meezer to Reverb or Reverb to Meezer not work out.
I think it was just bad timing. I don't think it was the right, play. It seems. Oh, can they get it? Liska gets a touch.
Save.
Oh
Another
my
big
God!
save
A
off the
beautiful
post.
clear from Skifty to get it last second. Unable. Reverb just not able to find that net. It was so close. Liska's able to start off that chain of saves. But now here it comes, round 2. Reverb and Meezer challenged on the same ball, looking to redirect it, but it wasn't going to work. And another save, a dink off the crossbar, and here we go with an open net.
I was going to say, those
did Twisted Tails hold on for that long?
By the best defensive player in the game, the post.
Honestly,
nobody better at defense than the post.
Crossbar and post are the best.
I was gonna say
at this game.
Those are good saves, but with the time quick ticking down, who knows? But now, only down 1 with 20-ish seconds to play. There's a chance, but low boost on the side of Twisted Tails, and just not a lot they can do with low boost here against this team. So they got it back in their half.
Play, looking for it. 4 seconds.
Ball's still up, still on the other team's half. Looking for a bump, maybe looking for a shot. Good save. It's gonna go down.
Go down. Rip. It was a good fight from Twisted
Great
Tales, I
effort.
will say. They just couldn't find that last goal. They were so close. They put so much pressure in the final 10 seconds, 10, 30 seconds of that game to at least try to find something, but it's just not enough. I think if that game one was a lot better than what it was, they might have had a better chance in terms of like actually getting out of it alive. But I mean, I'm you know, I actually have to blame this on, you know, Golden not choosing a proper like car. I mean, they chose Octane, obviously, good car. But considering what they've been playing in, I think that was their big mistake out of this. You know what I'm saying?
Well, there's one car that they won in and that they got 2 goals out of. I'm just saying. And it wasn't the Octane. I'm just saying.
Look, I can remain a hater. If it's not the Scarab, it's a terrible car. Like, genuinely. But anyways, you got any final thoughts before we move in?
Just, you know, a rough game 1 for them kind of sucks. But they seem to like definitely find their footing in game 2, and then game 3 and 4 looked a lot better. Yeah, I think there's still some good takeaways to take away here if you're Twisted Tales, and if you're BDS, just Meezer and Reverb.
Before we leave, Golden, I don't speak gibberish. But anyways, chat, we're going to head off to our next match. We're going to go into a little intermission to set up everything in the middle of it. But our next match is going to be between Purrsion 1 and Black Money Gaming. I hope you guys have a wonderful break. Get some drinks, get some snacks. We'll see you in that next match.
everybody. Welcome on back to RFDL Week 11, Day 1. Guys, that was a very interesting cast to start off the day from our wonderful guests, Cookie Cat and Nova Fox. Thank you guys for helping us out with that. Good cast, guys. It was very funny.
Hold on, though. I gotta make one comment here. Okay, Fade?
Yeah.
All that car hate? Unjustified.
That's true.
That was a
So
lot of car hate on
unjust.
Golden.
I want more of those cars. Like, I want more of the crazy cars. Like, let's get it, guys. Come on now. No car hate here. I do not approve of such things.
I mean, I'm just wondering, honestly, like, looking at how the match went, Twisted Tails was playing pretty good in that game 3, and Golden in the Proteus getting 2 goals. Why did he switch off the Proteus? Like, if he stays on that, we could be in the middle of game 5, 10 minutes into OT right now. Like, you never know.
Oy.
If it's not broke, don't fix it. And I mean, that Proteus definitely not broke. But guys, we do have 2 more matches to talk about today, and we will get through those in a second. But I do want to say, with BDS winning that match, they have clinched 3rd seed for themselves in our mid-season bracket, and nobody was expecting me to do this, but I am going to do it. So give me just a second. But we are going to go ahead and pull up the bracket for mid-season coming up here, guys, and you should be able to see it on your screen right now. You can see a cup. You can see one person in it right now, which is Twisted Tails, and as of right now, you're going to see the live change. Big Dragon Squad will be in that game 7, getting that bye in the first round. No one can take seed 3 from them anymore. So we've only got 3 more buys left. That seed 1 and seed 2 are going to be going to either X3 Tactics or Black Bunny Gaming. We'll have to wait to see what both of their results are going into this next week will be before we can determine who's going to be seed 1 and seed 2. But then you also have Twisted Tails here in that game 2. They will be playing against the 5th seed going into round number 1 of the mid-season. So as every match gets completed and more spots get filled, we will update these. Of course, not too many that we can do today, because I think the only way another team would be able to clinch right now is if Black Bunny loses this game, and that would mean X3 and Black Bunny would then get the 1st and 2nd seeds respectively. But guys, we're starting to fill out the bracket. It's almost time. How excited are we?
Mid-season's gonna be fun. Not gonna lie though. Gentle Pause mid-season, let's run it. Like, we're excited. I don't know how how excited y'all are, but like, I'm hyped. I'm ready to go for mid-season. Let me at it, Fade.
Yeah, I have to agree there, Fire. Let us at it, but we got some good matches to go. Before we get to that, still got to get through the rest of the week, and we'll talk about our second match right now, which is going to be Purrsion 1 and Black Bunny Gaming. Kind of a shame we didn't have Cookie Cat this one, huh?
Jeez.
You know, we gotta hear the bias cast from Cookie Cat. I don't think we've ever gotten that before, so that would be.
I don't know if I think we had enough bias cause last week.
You might be right. You might be right. But let's talk about our team getting into this. Talking about our, I believe, 6th seed right now, Purrsion 1, coming into this, have a uphill battle to try and play upset on Black Bunny Gaming here. But we do have a sub coming in. As you can see on the screen right now, we are going to have Drake, Fire, J Boss, and Roomski popping in as the sub for Purrsion 1 today. This is going to be an interesting squad. No Haze on the roster for the final week of this half of league play. I wonder how that's going to affect the team overall.
I mean, does the Runeski buff only apply to Dignipause, or is it for all teams? I mean, I guess we're about to find out. I mean, it's all going to come down to that in my eyes.
I hate to say that this team has a disadvantage, but in my, it's like realistically, they clearly do. Coming in with a relatively newer player, and then on top of that, having to sub someone in, just makes your job a little bit harder than it would be normally. Trying to play a series out. Obviously, that could be wrong, and I'd love to be wrong about that, but it's such a difficult position to be in, and no hate to my to the goat from the north in RuneSki. Obviously, a fantastic player, but it's gonna be difficult trying to fit into a relatively new roster rotationally. But they could do it, but they definitely have, like you said, an uphill battle. I think they do have a slight disadvantage, though, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, also just knowing how subs kind of go, especially when it comes to subs that are a little bit last minute, as I know this substitution was, doesn't really give a lot of time to practice with the team, not getting a lot of chemistry in. I believe that they thought up till at least the day of the game, of the match, that Hayes was going to be there, so very last minute, which means they're not going to be able to get the chemistry that they might want to have before playing a team like Black Bunny Gaming. That being said, though, let's talk about this Black Bunny Gaming squad. They've got a really good chance here. Obviously, we do now have 2 MVPs on a team, which I don't think we have had yet before. So showing why the squad is so strong. However, they aren't the strongest team that we've seen in RFDL. There's definitely a chance for Purrsion 1 here if they can take advantage of, trying to shut down Hammer as much as possible. He's got that team carry role for a reason. If they can try and shut him down as much as possible, I think they can find some good opportunities on net. Can't say this one is totally out of the picture for Purrsion 1 here.
I mean, yeah, Black Bunny, 2 players that have been MVP over the first 10 weeks of the season, and then the other one having the team carry role. Like, you would expect that Hammer would have gotten one of the MVPs for the team after hearing he has the team carry role, because he's first in almost every single statistical category. But surprisingly, no. So, I mean, they're just a really solid team. What can you say? I think they're just looking better and better every week that they play together, and that's kind of scary. So, yeah, we'll need to see what they're able to do going forward. But if I remember right, they haven't lost a series in, 6 weeks or something? So they're the hottest team in the league right now, and we'll need to see if they're able to maintain that this week.
Yeah. And I mean, just to reiterate, I know we talking about Hammer and MVPs and whatnot, and if we didn't weigh the MVP voting, I think you're right, Fire. I think Hammer would probably be MVP every week with how his stats look, which I think might be a little bit unfair to the remainder of the league, having to go that way. So yeah, obviously a fantastic player. Right now, this is the team to beat. They are tied for first here coming into this week, and obviously that's not going to have much of a play out. They're guaranteed to buy into the midseason, so there's not too much weighing here in terms of outcome. But I think just as a team, going into this is, we saw this last season as well. Getting a win over them does bode well for confidence. So yeah, this would be a good win to get, especially with a newer team. If you can do it there, you can do it against anyone. So we'll have to see.
Yeah, and when it comes to confidence, nothing's going to boost your confidence more than going into midseason and looking at your team and seeing that you are at the top of the leaderboard there. And Black Bunny has a chance to put the pressure on X3 Tactics in their match tomorrow if they're able to win this one. X3 Tactics is going to want to try and keep that first place, but they're going to have to force a win against Gentle Paws if Black Bunny is to win today. Meanwhile, Purrsion 1 going to be playing the spoiler, and we've seen stranger things happen in this league. We've seen teams that would go 0-3 against one team, then play a team that would technically be stronger on paper, and then go all the way to game 5. So we'll see exactly how this goes, but it is time for the predictions for this match. And if I check back for me and Aerolax, my bad, I went Black Bunny in 4, and Aerolax went Black Bunny in 5. Firestreak and Daki, what do you guys think is going to happen?
So, I hate to be the guy that just like goes along with what everyone else is doing. I don't like doing that, but I don't think I've seen enough out of Purrsion 1 to say that they take this series. But I do think they get the Runesky buff a little bit. And because of the Runesky buff, I'll say they take a game off of Black Bunny. But I think that'll be all. So 3-1 in favor of Black Bunny. Only because of the Runesky buff, though.
Speaking of RuneScape, I want to give an apology in advance to RuneScape. All right, please do not DM me an angry face for this. But it's such an unfortunate position to be in, and with that team relatively being not scrapped together, but very new, with the new player coming in just recently and then having to sub in as well. It's a tough position to be in, and then on top of that, I mean, we're talking about top 1-2 in the league right now, so you're going to be up against Hammer and Kiki. It'll be not easy for anyone, let alone a newer team that hasn't really had as much time to kind of get chemistry going. Obviously, they would be underdogs and they could do it, and I don't have any faith that they have a chance, but my prediction, unfortunately, is going to have to be a 3-0 for BBG. I think they're such a strong team that requires, I think, some game planning against, and if you just don't have the time to do that, it just makes it more difficult.
Yeah, I have to agree there with that, but we'll have to see how the players get on the field and show us what they're made of. We do have a full death prediction for Black Bunny Gaming. We'll have to see if that plays into effect at all, but guys, it is time for our second match of the day. It's going to be Purrsion 1 playing against Black Bunny Gaming. Can Black Bunny Gaming try to clinch that top seed, or will Purrsion 1 be able to play spoiler in this match? Take it away, guys.
Well, thank you, Fade. And, I mean, should be a good matchup, honestly. As much as we're all kind of expecting Black Bunny to win, this shouldn't be too much of, like, an easy win for Black Bunny. So, we'll need to see how it works out. But Black Bunny getting some early pressure, unable to hold it, though, as Kiki puts it back on net. Drake is going to need to make the save, and he's able to do so fairly easily. Drake trying to clear it downfield, but unable to get that much power on it, which is going to allow for a shot. Great save by FireJ though, and Drake is going to bang that down the field. FireJ trying to get a shot on net. I think I saw a demo attempt, and that might speak to their strategy as we work through the first minute of this match. And are we going to see some bump and demo plays on the backline coming out from Purrsion 1 here, Daki?
And you might kind of have to, right? You might kind of have to. That's a sentence and a half. But I feel like when you go up against players or teams that rely a lot on that kind of first, second man shooting, like we see from Black Bunny, right? You have Hammer and Kiki that are kind of the primary shooters of this team. Some bumps and some physical play. If Rex was here, Rex would be absolutely lauding it. They go well in terms of trying to counteract that, but I mentioned this, when we were talking about predictions, I talked about how I would have loved to see, I talked about how I think this will be a one-sided matchup, and I'd love to see me be wrong here, but how can you vote against a guy like Hammer, as Hammer gets a nice little shot over to the side and puts Black Bunny up 1, and I don't know, Fire, it looks like we might have the Hammer show again.
I mean, he was in a position. Okay, he just puts another one in on kickoff right there. Is what it is. But I want to talk about that first goal a little bit more, because that one's fairly mundane. But that first goal, Hammer stays in position to get a musty whenever he wants, then scoops his car like under the ball and just gets a normal shot, which completely takes Purrsion 1 off guard, which is insane to see. That's a nutty shot. So Runesky trying to get a good shot of his own, unable to complete it though, unable to get that double tap as we see FireJ-Boss try to put a shot on net. It's going to bounce off of Hammer's car and go in the net. I think Kiki might have been able to get a save on that, but just that unfortunate little touch by Hammer is going to allow that one to go in the net. And Purrsion 1 strikes back to bring this within 1.
Yeah, you saw all 3 players of Black Bunny on basically 0 boost there. Got a slow play there out of the corner from Bezix, just unfortunately led to a free 50. No one there to cover that one. Might have been called a mistouch from Hammer, but I don't think there's really much he could have done otherwise. Let's just make it... Let's make this game a little bit more interesting. I can speak, I promise. We do have a 1-goal game now, and like I said, I kind of anticipated this to be more one-sided, just with Purrsion 1 being, a relatively newer squad here. This is basically a whole new team that's playing against this Black Bunny squad here, and that is definitely working against them, but it's hard to root for, or it's hard to root against the underdog here. I'd love to see this be a lot closer than anticipated, but we do have maybe a disconnect there, or is it maybe either a disconnect or a controller break? Because it would have been savable, but Runesky just not in position to save that, not moving. Not sure what happened there.
Yeah, I do see messages coming out from Drake right there saying Runesky's game crashed. So that is unfortunate. It does happen from time to time in RFDL though. We'll need to see if the other 2 players on Purrsion 1 are able to hang on for long enough to keep their team in this game and just bide time. But it does look like Kiki has opted to make it an even match by leaving the game, or at least going into spectator mode or something. So, good sporting play there by Kiki. We do appreciate it, nonetheless. And
the sportsmanship coming through. I mean, it's something that I don't think a lot of players would have liked to do, right? You get basically the free shot of the win there. You take the 3v2 and no one would stop you. It's not really in the rules that you have to do the 2v2. That's just good sportsmanship.
Ooh, almost in an awkward position there by Vezix, but he's able to recover it, is going to try to clear this to the corner, able to do so. Now Drake opts for the slow shot, which is going to sneak past Hammer, and that's just a good patient play there. Just he sees Hammer might be scrambling to try to block that, and he just opts to kind of just take that one slow. So well played to Drake. And we see Runesky's back in, Kiki's back in. We have a 3v3 once again, Docky.
Yeah, I love to see it. I wasn't sure if it was going to be the remainder of the game that we'd have the 2v2, but we're back to the best game mode, guys. Don't worry. Reese is back on the table. Already starting to see some of that momentum, maybe, that they got from that 2v2. Scored a couple goals now here, and that kind of puts them in a good position. But as I say that, yeah, I wanted to talk about how they might have had some advantage there coming out of the 2v2, kind of feeling good about themselves after having scored that, but unfortunately that is shut down immediately by Hammer. Hammer getting the hat trick here, and suddenly it's back up to a 2-1 game, but with a minute and 11 seconds left fire, it's not anywhere near over.
It's definitely not over, but I'm not sure if I'm the only one that noticed this, but the first 5 weeks of the season or so, I saw a lot less of the mechanical plays from Hammer, maybe just opting to kind of take things a little bit less intense, maybe not quite clipping on a weekly basis, but it seems like he is back to the Season 0 ways of just hitting clips left, right, and center and just completely popping off. So it's good to see that he's really starting to mesh with that team very well, and have to wonder if maybe the change in roster is benefiting them. But with only 30 seconds left, Purrsion 1's going to need one quickly. FireJ-Boss trying to put one on, but Hammer is back for that. That's going to be no problem for Hammer, as Hammer gets control, about 50 boost, gets it over 1. Runesky is going to stall that in the midfield, though. Runesky getting a 50 with Vezix, but this is just going to get cleared back into the Purrsion 1 half, and I think that's just about it for this game as the clock ticks down to 0, and we'll just need to see if Purrsion 1's able to get one for the road, unable to do so though, and that's going to wrap up game 1, going in favor of Black Bunny.
Yeah, and a little bit closer than I kind of was expecting there. Hammer kind of having to take that one into his own hands, scoring 3 of their 4 goals, and yeah, it's tough. I think when you're up against someone that's playing like he was. Not the correct replays. It's difficult when you're going up against you know, a player that's it's playing as consistently good as we were seeing Hammer. I mean, that first shot. I mean, how do you defend that, right? So that can be a little bit daunting, but you know, going into game 2, if you can kind of go, okay, this is the guy that we need to worry about, kind of hunker down. You know, Kiki's going to be there for that secondary shooting, you know, but you know, no offense to Kiki. Obviously, I don't think Kiki being compared to Hammer would be an offending to anyone, but it might give you a little bit more of a possibility there, you know, trying to make Kiki do more of the shooting than Hammer, because Hammer is just unstoppable when in these solo plays.
I mean, it's almost like with Hammer, you need to just fully expect it to take 2 defenders to defend him every time he has the ball. You need to get one person to get the ball off of him. And even then, that's a difficult task because he's so good at using his mechs, but then also keeping control of the ball. So, I mean, you just have to throw someone up at the ball and just kind of hope that that gets the ball off of him. And then have somebody back in that second man position or the third man position to clean it up. So we'll need to see if they're able to do that going into this game 2. But immediately, I mean, we're already seeing more Black Bunny pressure ringing out early here. FireJ Boss getting the clear. Kiki is going to try to take this off corner, but FireJ is unable to get a shot on net. Drake going for a center. Runesky trying to get the shot, unable to put it on though. Hammer is going to try to clear this out, unable to do so though. Kiki is going to need to put this to the side over to Vezix. Vezix opts to pass it to Hammer. Usually a good option. Hammer, a rare case of Hammer not being able to control that one. And one almost goes in from FireJ Boss, but Kiki just barely going to get the save. And I mean, early on, we're seeing pressure from both sides, no clear advantage.
Yeah, a lot of pressure here from this Purrsion 1 team, just none of it looking incredibly too dangerous. It's always something that, you know, the pressure is good, just can't make them struggle a little bit. They're just going to wait for that counterattack, and not really what you want when the counterattack is probably going to be started by either Hammer or Kiki. Is going to make your life a lot harder, but you know, this is a dangerous ball. Touch will come through, but it's a little bit too far for Hammer to get to. Might be a free ball opportunity. Goes a little bit forward. Goes over 2, but Drake just not able to get the touch there. It's an unfortunate missed opportunity from the side of Purrsion 1 that should have led to a Black Bunny goal. I'm not sure who hit the ping, who hit the crossbar there. The ping rings through nonetheless, and this seemingly a close game. We saw kind of the opportunity for there to be a close game in game number 1. It didn't end up that way, but it was close for the most of it. Is I think now we're starting to see fire some more of those dangerous opportunities.
Yeah, I've seen multiple shots in the last minute that have looked like they're going to go in, but just maybe getting a little bit unlucky and unable to put the finishing touch on it. But, I mean, it seems like it's almost inevitable that a goal is going to go in the net. But FireJ trying to put pressure on some more, but Hammer's going to be there to clear it away. As we see Runesky scrambling back to try to get possession. Hammer's going to get that around 1, unable to get it around the second though, as Vezix is going to try to take this off a back wall, but that's just going to get cleared away. Now we're seeing, I guess we're seeing Vezix trying to make a defensive play there, able to get it off the first man. Well played there, and Hammer's going to put one on, but Runesky able to clear that one away. And we see Runesky just kind of bang that away to Hammer. Would have rather seen some control there, maybe a bit of a panic touch. As we see the ball ring around in midfield, and then a rotational blunder by Black Bunny is going to allow Purrsion 1 to capitalize and just put themselves up by 1.
And of course, it has to end that way. We had so many good opportunities, so many good defensive plays, but that one's just an unfortunate double commit. Not sure where the miscommunication happened there, but both Kiki and Vezix getting beaten to that ball. Vezix, not sure exactly the communication breakdown happened there, but minute 48, definitely not the world there for Black Bunny. They've had a lot of time to come back here. Fire won't get this as a goal. I'm not sure. Was this an own goal? It looks like it might have been one. This one bounces forward. Hammer gets the touch, and yeah, Kiki hits that one unfortunately into their own net, and I think that one probably was going to be goal either way. Fire was there for the shot, regardless, but just like that, Purrsion 1 of 2.
I mean, Black Bunny own goal. They've had a few of those this season, and I mean, oh my gosh, what a pinch! That's okay. That was very entertaining to see, but yeah, that's lots of confidence coming out from Purrsion 1 right now. They seem to be firing on all cylinders as Drake puts another one in, and that's going to be going up 3-0 in favor of Purrsion 1. And I mean, Runesky buff?
Yeah, we don't even have a chance to talk about each of these goals. They happen so quickly. I mean, they were down. First goal was scored with what, 120? Like, not that long ago, and all of a sudden it's a 3-goal game out of absolutely nowhere. Funny, seemingly letting that first goal get to them a little bit. Their defensive rotations kind of faltered a little bit. I don't know if they're letting that kind of first goal get to them. They need to settle down. No need to push the issue. You're still, I mean, at the worst case scenario, you lose this game, which with 50 seconds left down 3, you know, you're definitely likely going to lose this one. Although I don't want to curse it. I definitely could see 3 goals. I mean, Purrsion 1 scored their goals within 30 seconds, so there's no way that Black Bunny would be unable to do the same. But I mean, at this point, you might want to just ground yourself, go into game 2, and just figure out exactly how you let this game get so far away from you. But yeah, Purrsion 1, confidence. You know, we talked about the Runesky buff. It might be real. Runesky definitely adding, I think, a lot to this team, especially in that mid-game, midfield game. Kind of shutting down a lot of these opportunities that Black Bunny's had. But as I say that, and every time as I say that, Fire, it just seems to go the opposite way. As Hammer gets a really nice goal off of a read here. Drake, a little bit awkward, no momentum, not able to get to that, and Hammer's just going to take full advantage.
Yeah, Hammer's going to take advantage of those every single time, and it does seem like every time you start to talk about maybe one getting out of hand, it does immediately get followed by a goal by the opposing team. But, I mean, I know this isn't the whole, that's a very good save there, but I know it's not the whole story, but I'm seeing a lot less, like, clip-worthy opportunities for Hammer, and all of a sudden Purrsion 1 wins by 2. So you have to wonder, is that just making all the difference for Black Bunny, is whether or not Hammer's able to get those possession plays where he just takes possession, shows off the mechs a bit, and just takes over some of these opportunities. Is that the lifeblood of Black Bunny, do you think?
Well, I mean, I think that's no question, Fire. I feel like the goal here has to be to find ways to shut Hammer down, force Kiki to be the shot taker, and you know, Kiki's a good player, and I think Kiki's going to put a lot of those goals in if they're the one taking the shots, no doubt about that. But I mean, you gotta, I think, remove Hammer from some of these equations there, and they did a really good job of doing that. A lot of the passes that Hammer were getting were just not quality because they had to be rushed, right? And unfortunately for Hammer, just not really able to set up and take some of those solo play opportunities that we saw in game 1. So if you're trying to do that going forward, that's definitely the play. Purrsion 1 did a really, really good job of doing that in this game too. They're gonna have to keep that up though. That's not an easy task for sure.
No, it's definitely not an easy task, but if there is a team that can do it, it is Purrsion 1. They're a very solid team, especially with the Runesky buff in full effect. So we'll need to see if they're able to keep it up going into game 3 of this series. It's now a best of 3. We'll need to see if Purrsion 1's able to take advantage, as we see Hammer getting an awkward touch off a side while Runesky almost putting that on net, but is just unable to get there in time. Unfortunate for Purrsion 1. They're going to want that one back. Now we're seeing some pressure from Black Bunny, nothing too threatening though, as Hammer takes it off of corner. This is starting to look threatening, but Runesky is able to put that out of his half. And, I mean, a little bit of pressure to both sides, but nothing too threatening yet. I think both these teams are going to want to get settled in this game sooner rather than later.
Yeah, and that one, the first one's gotta hurt. That was a rare Hammer misplay. You really got to take advantage of those. Unfortunately, the Runesky not able to get the read, and that one will make the game still level. I am starting to see, I think, more of kind of the same as what we saw in game number 2. And the Hammer's definitely trying to force the issue here, but Purrsion doing a pretty good job of being on top of those opportunities, trying to make the other members of this Black Bunny team take those shots. And as we say that, as I say that, Vezix will get one off of this. Maybe a little bit of a mistouch there from Fires. That one leads to a nice shot there. Not able to turn to that one. Runesky just not in the right position, unfortunately, to make that save. And just under 4 minutes left. Black Bunny's up 1. But I mean, if you're Purrsion 1, that's exactly what you want. I think if you want to have a chance in these series, you want the other players of Black Bunny taking those shots. And you're definitely going to let some of them go in, but what you want for this entirety of this series, I think, going forward.
I mean, very smart play by Hammer right there. We've come to expect those out of him. Very smart demo play right there. But going back to the goal before that, that was very, very nice placement by Vezix. And we're just seeing 2 good, smart goals by Black Bunny to take a 2-goal lead early in this game. And I want to see more of those, because it's one thing to just have a Hammer popping off as Kiki puts yet another one in. We don't even have time to talk about these, Docky. But
crazy off the kickoff. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's an unfortunate rotation, I think, there from the side of Purrsion 1. He had a full boost there for Runesky, just not able to jump to that one in time. And you do not want to be giving up these kickoff goals, Fire, when you're dealing down, I think, into like, maybe threatening, having match point be up against you here. Going down 3 is not what you want in game number 3.
no, it's definitely not what you want to see, but we see another rare miss from Hammer, and maybe playing a little bit more trolly than we're used to him playing, as Drake puts one back in the net. But I love seeing all these very just fundamental, more simple goals come out, because one thing just have Hammer popping off and doing everything mechanical, but it's another to have everyone just in the right rotation, in the right place when they need to be. And if I'm a Black Bunny fan, that's what I'm most happy to see right now.
I mean, yeah, the rotations is definitely what you want out of this Black Bunny team. You don't want it to be all flash, but I've seen a little bit of rotation breakdown from this team. That first goal, I think, came from a little bit of a miscommunication there. We've seen a little bit more opportunities from this Purrsion 1 team off of some maybe more miscommunications than you'd like to see. I have a few ball here. That one, the back pass, but that one does go past that. This will be incredibly awkward for Kiki on the low boost. Does get a nice touch. Fire will have a shooting opportunity. He likes to that one on there, just not fast enough, unfortunately. And Drake's gonna have to scramble for that one. Doesn't get the touch, and every single second that's taking off the clock here is an advantage for this Black Bunny team. Unfortunately for Purrsion 1, they definitely need to get some scoring happening soon. They've had some opportunities, but they really need to start putting them in the back of the net.
Yeah, they definitely will want to be putting some of these in the back of the net, as we see Hammer going for a flip reset, unable to really get an effective touch after getting the reset though. Drake going for a double off the sidewall, unable to get the second touch, as Runesky is going to need to clear that one out. Now we see Hammer trying to get a back wall read, but Purrsion 1 is there too quickly, and that's going to lead to a clear. But I'm seeing lots of pressure from Black Bunny. Not a whole lot Purrsion 1's able to do to clear it out of their own half, as Hammer puts in a nice double tap to put his team back up by 3.
Oh my goodness. It's a good pass from Kiki. Hammer with complete control, knows exactly what he's doing on that double. Sees the defender, doesn't care, hits it low, and gosh, what do you do when you're going up against that kind of shooting? You need to play the defense perfectly. Not only that, but you need to start scoring on your own if you want to have a chance in this game, and that's so difficult to deal with when you're down 2, let alone 3 now. In the half, though, we've seen Purrsion 1 put 3 goals in very quickly before. It's definitely not impossible. But right now, with the way the momentum's going, it's just not going to be an easy task by any means. You're gonna have to start scoring it relatively quickly, but we need to see a goal from them now if they want to have a chance.
Definitely we do, and this is the clear to do it. We'll need to see if Drake's able to follow this up effectively, but he is unable to, and Ruinski's going to need to try to cover. It's going to bounce middle, but Hammer is going to get bumped high on it, unable to get a good save on it. Black Bunny, all of them really low on boost, and they're going to need a clear to be able to recover that boost, which they are able to get. Now we're seeing Fire J getting a shot towards net, unable to put it on though, and I think they're going to want that one back because they really needed that one to go in if they wanted to stay in this game. As we see Hammer trying to put one on, the crossbar ping rings out though, and that one is going to avoid going up by 4. Purrsion 1 looking to be in rough shape for the rest of this match.
And something I'm noticing from this Purrsion 1 team is that we're kind of hoping that Hammer will miss. We saw off of that kind of low boost read that Hammer had that all 3 of Purrsion 1 was ready to take the ball off of a missed touch or a missed opportunity from Hammer, but when you're playing against a player like Hammer, you kind of have to assume that every single shot he's going for is at least going to be a hit on the ball. And unfortunately for them, that's kind of put them in on the back foot, I think, a little bit more times than they would like. Again, though, this is match point, but they still have a chance to make this to go to game 5. I think they showed a lot of promise here in game number 2, and then a little bit of that in game number 3, but just not as much as I'm sure Purrsion would like to see. So I don't know, Fire. I think that we might have a possibility for game 5 here.
I think it's definitely in the cards potentially. However, I do think Black Bunny does have a lot of momentum coming off of that last match, and I think it's going to be really a tall order for Purrsion 1 to be able to climb back into this game. But they are capable of it, so we'll need to see if they're able to. But, I mean, unfortunately for them, I think even if they kind of shut down Hammer this game, this is going to be a really hard one to win because the other 2 players on that Black Bunny squad were playing very well. So we'll need to see if they're able to can just limit the amount of opportunities Black Bunny is getting on their net, and if they're able to do that, they might be able to claw their way back into this game.
Only the game will tell us, as we will go into our game number 4 here momentarily. I am hoping to see, I think, a little bit more, like you were saying, a little bit more from this Purrsion 1 team in terms of, I think, shutting down Hammer's solo plays and some of those opportunities they've had, but also connecting. We're talking about connecting on some of those opportunities that Purrsion 1's had. They've had a lot of shooting opportunities, and they had a lot in that last game. They just were not able to click. Of course, now they have a whole new 5 minutes to change that narrative. Of course, they will need to if they don't want to get knocked out here, as it is now win or go home here for Purrsion 1. Here we go, though. Game number 4, a fresh new set of zeros on the scoreboard. We'll have to see if Purrsion 1's able to bounce back.
Yeah, Purrsion 1 definitely does not want to let this game slip away. They would much rather keep themselves in the top half of the league going into mid-season, because naturally that's where every team wants to be. So we'll need to see if they're able to pull some things together and try to reverse this momentum really quickly here. Hammer going for a pinch. Ruinski is able to get the save on that, though. And if Hammer was able to control that and get an air dribble high, he might have had a goal for himself there. Unable to do so. Bit unfortunate for him. Hammer has control of the ball again and is able to get the air dribble demo. And that's going to allow Kiki to get a clean follow-up shot and put Black Bunny up by 1.
Well, that's the Kiki fear, right? Is you worry about the Hammer solo play, but Kiki has been consistently there to, I think, take some of these shots off of Hammer's setups. And we're talking about, you want Kiki and maybe, you want Kiki and Vezix to be the shooters of this Black Bunny team. If you're Purrsion 1, you definitely want the ball out of Hammer's hands, but my goodness, you definitely don't want to give Kiki looks like that, because Kiki will put those in every time. That's why they were just recently named MVP. This is a player that can definitely make those shots. And no, with Black Bunny taking that early lead, that definitely sets the tone here for this game number 4. A lot of time, though, if you're Purrsion 1, you definitely don't want to let that get to you. So it's definitely go downhill from here. I said definitely way too many times here in short succession here, Fire, so I'm going to let you take it away.
You are perfectly good, Docky, but in this game, you have to wonder, where is the MVP curse? Because it certainly does not seem to be here, as Kiki is able to put a second goal in. And, I mean, the positioning is just immaculate there, coming right from the spot where Runesky doesn't see him, and slotting that one home. So, well played by Kiki once again.
Yeah, we talked so much last game about the Meezer reverb show and that kind of connection that they were having, but seemingly the Kiki Hammer show is here in this game, as these two are playing on an entirely new level here. Their passing between the two of them is ridiculous, as they put in the third one here, and all of them coming off of assists.
Yeah, this is something like... I don't think we've seen chemistry this good between two individual players before in RFDL. This is terrifying to see, especially as we head into mid-season, where these two will be playing in a, most likely they will end up playing in a 2v2 against two other poor people in this league. And I certainly hope that's not going to be me. So, I mean, Kiki and Hammer are just on another level right now, as Hammer gets control again, but kind of gets the ball taken from him by Vezix. Now we're seeing Runesky trying to take possession, but gets bumped. And that's a really smart play by Black Bunny to try to give themselves the advantage here, as we see an unfortunate own goal come out from, I believe it was Kiki on the back post right there. Just kind of an awkward spot, and then just putting in their own net for the second time this series. And I mean, I think Kiki just wants more goals. That's what I'm seeing.
Yeah, it's a natural reaction, I think, for Kiki when there's the passing opportunity, whether it's from their teammate or not, to put it on net. And well, luckily for them, they've done the majority of it on Purrsion's Purrsion 1's net. Unfortunately for Purrsion 1, though, this will be an open goal, an open net here. I'm not sure exactly what happened here. It's like both teams rotating away from the ball, away from the net, going for boost maybe. So there's absolutely nobody back to cover a relatively normal shot there. It's a breakdown you definitely don't want to see here, as you're on the chance of losing the series. Purrsion 1 not giving up any time soon, as Drake will immediately remedy that mistake there from Purrsion 1 as they go back to a 2-goal game.
Yeah, really good flick by Drake there, just to get it just under the crossbar but over Kiki, and that's exactly what you want to see if you are a Purrsion 1 fan. But the goal before that was, there was a pretty nice cut by Vezix to get it around, I believe it was Fire J Boss, and then just any rotational error after that will lead to a goal. So good identifying that, good play by Vezix right there. But now we're seeing Kiki needing to clear off of the back wall, Vezix stalling it, and that's going to allow Drake to get a shot. Unable to put that one home, though. Runesky trying to put that one in, unable to do so, though. And this is going to come down to Drake for the save, and that's an awkward touch. Hammer will take advantage of that every day of the week. So that's a well played by Hammer, just to put in an awkward spot, then put that one home.
God, the 2-point swing's gotta hurt if you're Purrsion 1. That was surely a scoring opportunity for them, just the crossbar. I think, as Nova alluded to in the last series, the best defenders in Rocket League is going to be the crossbar and the post, as we see crossfire for Black Bunny doing wonders. But Drake does not care about the crossbar, as immediately, just like we saw off of the last time Black Bunny scored, Drake comes back and gets a really nice reset into a dunk on Kiki and Vezix. Into the 2-point game. Again, a minute 29, that's not impossible. They definitely still have, I said definitely? That's not a word. Definitely. Still have uphill task against themselves here.
Well, I think it's a good thing that this series is better than Docky's English right now, because we've seen quite a few of those. But regardless, we chug right along in this game, as Drake is slightly out of position there. That's going to fall back to Runesky. Runesky trying to do the solo ground play, unable to get it past the entirety of the Black Bunny team, though. Drake trying to put that one against sidewall, unable to do so, though. Runesky with low boost is going to need to clear that one out. Fire J Boss with an opportunity, unable to put that one on target, though, as we see Purrsion 1 trying to push this one in, brute force it. They're going to need to do so soon if they want to keep this series hopes alive. But Drake popping that one high. We'll need to see if he's able to get it middle, but Vezix is there to clear it to the side. Fire J Boss getting it over Vezix around Kiki. If they're able to get a shot here, it's going to be dangerous, and sure enough, Vezix just a little bit awkward as he is able to not able to get the save there. But I just noticed, where's Hammer?
Yeah, it's actually kind of interesting. We have a PC crash on the other team. And prior to that, we did have the 2v2 happen there to kind of pay respect to the lack of Runesky. We're not seeing the same here from Purrsion 1. Now, it doesn't necessarily surprise me too much, as that is because they are on the verge of elimination, right? And we are in a league here. So you definitely want the win, but I don't know, Fire? Is this a taketh but not giveth situation we have here?
I think it certainly is, and now that the precedent has been set by Black Bunny, that they're able to, that they are willing to, you know, keep their players, keep the games out of a 3v2 situation as much as possible. I think doing the same would be very much a sporting move by Purrsion 1 here, but as it hits the ground, that's going to lead to overtime and still a 2v3, as Hammer once again was able to momentarily join the match back, but loses connection once again, which is unfortunate to see. I really would desirably like to see Purrsion 1 give up as they are able to put one around the Black Bunny team, but I mean, I know Gentle Paws didn't give the 2v2 the opportunity there, or not forfeit, but drop it to a 2v2 when they got the opportunity to earlier, but they also didn't have the opponents do the same thing for them earlier in the series. So I'm not super happy seeing Purrsion 1 opt for that, but at the same time, it is Rocket League, and we'll need to see if Black Bunny comes back with a vengeance in Game 5 to take over this series.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I mentioned in game number 1, it's not in the rules that you have to play the 2v2. You can absolutely play that 3v2 out, and fortunately for the side of BBG, Purrsion 1 not electing to do that, but I want to point out that Black Bunny did end up winning that game number 1 anyways. I don't know if that necessarily could have done the 3v2. I think it would have gone the same way, so I don't necessarily know it mattered too much. But yeah, we definitely have the precedent set here. Purrsion 1 is here to win, and they do that now. They're going to have to do that the hard way, and that's going to be through Hammer here in game number 5.
Yeah, it's definitely not an easy task, but we'll need to see if they're able to do it. I mean, we saw how much Hammer just woke up in Game 5 of that series against Gentle Paws. It was kind of the start of him taking over and having some consecutively good games here towards the last month and a half or so. But we'll need to see if he's able to do the same thing in this series, as Kiki goes for a shot, unable to put it on though. Great defense by the opponents. Now we're seeing Drake trying to establish pressure, unable to do so though, as Hammer tries to take possession. Vezix is going to need to play that forward though. He's low on boost, so that's gonna cause him to just give it away as Purrsion 1 crosses the field. And I mean, first 30 seconds, kind of playing ping pong here so far, Docky.
Yeah, I kind of expected, I think, going into this game number 5. We talked about this, I think, a lot, all of this league, you know, in a lot of series where you have game 5s, and that you kind of get a little bit nervous. And if you're Purrsion 1 here, it's kind of a new game, because you kind of were able to bring this to a game 5 based off of an advantage players-wise at the end of game number 4 here, so you kind of have to start from scratch here. And who doesn't have to start from scratch is Black Bunny, as they're able to set up a nice little shot here. So rotational mistake there, unfortunately, for the side of Purrsion 1 is going to leave that net relatively open, but a really nice shot there coming through nonetheless from Vezix. See though, able to continue the momentum going forward, but Version 1, you're able to win the last one with a lack of hammer. Now you got to deal with hammer and maybe a little bit of a chip on the side, or on the shoulder, on the side of this Black Bunny team. So definitely not an easy match here in this game number 5, but we will have to see.
Yeah, I mean, the two sides of hammer, the side that just does stuff like that, and the side that's trying to really set up his teammates on repeat. But, I mean, they've awoken the beast, Docky. And I'm glad I'm not on Purrsion 1 right now, because this is terrifying.
Yeah, such a good shot. It's really, really well played, little Doomsy. Off of the backboard, just gets around one, realizes that the other's not going to be there in time, doesn't let it pass it, and just plays it for himself. It's such a smart play from Hammer to take that shot as quick as possible. And yeah, like you were saying, it's definitely not a team that I'd want to play up against if I was on this side of Purrsion 1. This is, you don't want to play a kind of, not upset, but probably, you know, a little bit of a chip. And I'd have to imagine. It's a misplay from, I think that was Kiki. Might give them an opportunity, but fire no boost at all is going to make this difficult to get out of their own half. That's a nice pinch, but that's going to go immediately back to the net. This is a scoring opportunity. Kiki misses though. Might see this one go the other way though, but Purrsion 1 definitely needs to get some momentum going quickly. They haven't had a whole lot of opportunities early on, but as I say, here's ones now, but somehow that one goes backwards. I'm not sure if that was a really good clear or just an accidental mistouch, as we have to start from square one again here for Purrsion 1.
Yeah, Purrsion 1 in a difficult spot right now. They're playing against a very chippy Black Bunny team. They definitely have the chip on their shoulder, but I mean, they're definitely not playing happy right now. And anytime Black Bunny is not playing happy, that's a scary thing to be witnessing. But nonetheless, Purrsion 1 staying in this, a great flick there to put it on. And that is a very underrated shot right there. That is huge right there. The amount of power on that little scoop right there was fantastic. Great shot by Fire J Boss.
Yeah, it's a great flick. Gets a lot of power. I think more power than Kiki expected. Kiki not quite quick enough back to that, and fortunately just not able to get a powerful enough touch out of the net. That one just hits off the post and goes right back into the back of the net. Great shot. That's exactly what Purrsion 1 needed. They needed that shot there from Fire. Take that one. Make this a little bit closer. Give them a fighting chance here, but not to say that was a fluke, but that did not come off of, I think, a lot of pressure. And I'm not really seeing that much come out of this Purrsion 1 team. They're struggling to get this ball in a position that are making Black Bunny sweat a little bit. And unfortunately for them, that's just giving Black Bunny so much time to set the ball up, take some of these shots on net. We see Hammer trying to set his teammates up, but fortunately for Black Bunny, that one's not going to go the way, but Hammer back on defense already. No attempts from Purrsion 1 to make this anywhere near stressful for them is going to come close. As once again, Purrsion 1 having to start from their own back third. Oh my.
I mean, Docky keeps passing off the mic to me as soon as Black Bunny is about to score, so I think Doc, you should just keep talking more, keep talking. But regardless, that's a great musty flick by Hammer to be able to put that one in the back of the net. And I mean, showing off some of those mechs once again. I'm sure that's a very routine flick from Hammer, but I wouldn't say a whole lot of the... I wouldn't say that's a very common thing to see for a lot of these players. So that's still Hammer showcasing his fantastic mechs, and we'll need to see if he's able to keep this up. Now, we're seeing Vezix trying to get in the middle for Hammer, but gets one touch too many, which is going to hit the ball away from Hammer, which is a bit unfortunate for Black Bunny. Now, we see Hammer trying to get some more pressure. Kiki trying to put it towards the net, unable to do so, though. Hammer taking the ball to the skies. He's done so many goals like that in his RFDL career, but unable to get that one in particular. And 30 seconds left. Purrsion 1 needs one fast.
They have to score immediately, but with how little amount of pressure they've had so far in this game, it feels almost impossible. Of course, 20 seconds is not... It's a lot of time in the world of Rocket League, but again, you're going up against a Hammer, maybe even frustrated Hammer. We've seen a lot of great goals come out of the side of Black Bunny. I don't think they're going to let this go anywhere near their own net, as So 0 seconds left. The 2-goal game will lead to a Black Bunny win here in 5. And yeah, we saw a lot of that Hammer Kiki show itself here. And then here in that game number 5, I think we saw a lot of the Hammer show. So more of what we've seen before. A very strong showing there from Black Bunny Gaming. And they take that one to 5. They had it in 4, I think. Unfortunately, disconnect pushed that one to a 5. But well played, I think, for both teams.
Yeah, I think both teams played pretty well in that series. I mean, Black Bunny played very, very well there. I think it's good to see Hammer doing his thing. He's scary anytime he's playing confident like that. So very, very well played to Hammer there. We sing his praises all the time, but he earns them. So well played to Hammer. And to the supporting cast of Black Bunny, Kiki and Vezix both played very, very well in their own right. And that's really good to see from them. So, I mean, going into midseason, Black Bunny has put themselves in a position where they might be able to take over that first place spot depending on how the series between X3 and Gentle Paws goes. So, we'll need to see how that works out and the way that ends up going for the league in general. But enough of this match. We have one more game to play today, which I believe is LumiMawcity and Fox Clan. We'll see you guys after the break when we head on to that game.
Can you feel it? The fire in your soul, leaving at the chance for love. Can you feel it? Haunting your senses, letting all your feelings go. But I can feel it rushing through my veins. Love's the only drug I know. But we've been playing the hand now we're dealt, but we can light it up. I know that we can make it through the night, but I can feel the fire inside, so there won't be no fear tonight. We crossed the line, and now it's clear to see the light behind the suffering. Believe we'll finally be free. Let the silhouette cast upon your heart, turning every little moment into scars. Baby, it's our chance to make a start, so we can fly. I know that we will make it. I know that we will make it. I know that we will make it. I know that we. I know that we can make it through the night, but I can feel the fire inside, so there won't be no fear tonight. We crossed the line, and now it's clear to see.
My favorite bagels. They include I don't really eat bagels. Anyway, back to RFDL week 11.
Who doesn't eat
Welcome,
bagels? Who
guys.
doesn't eat bagels? That's
Me,
crazy.
I don't have time for
crazy.
breakfast. Look at me. I'm a
I'm pretty
cat.
sure I've heard you talk about pizza bagels at least once.
No. I don't do the bagel bites like that. That's not my thing. That's not my thing.
That's crazy. That's
I'm the
crazy. I don't
chicken
believe
nugget
you.
guy.
I don't. Yeah, okay, well that I know is true.
Anyway, all I'm gonna say is welcome back to RFDL week 11, day 1. I'm Ecliptic Phase. I'm here with Docky, and I have a hot take for chat. And chat, y'all are crazy. And you know why y'all are crazy? If I was on any team going against Hammer, 3 goals down in a must-win game, and I see Hammer gets disconnected, if you think I'm taking the 2v2, you are absolutely crazy. Like, you gotta try and force that game 5. You gotta take every single advantage that you can get. Like, it's Hammer. He's the team carry for a reason. You saw what he was doing that entire series. Man was insane. Like, if I get 2 minutes away from that to kind of tie it up, I'm taking every single chance I can on that. I mean, unfortunately for Purrsion 1, they weren't able to take that game 5 because, you know, once Black Bunny gets a disconnect and they lose, then they suddenly get 10 times better than somehow they already are. And then they just outplay in game 5. So they get the win. They are now, right now, technically first in the league until X3 Tactics plays their match tomorrow. And if X3 can't pull out the win, then they get relegated down to second place, which would be weird for them, seeing that they've been in first place so long during league play this season.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, I mean, I think I agree with you a little bit, but I think that history would have changed. I think the way that we look at it, right? If they won that game 5, I think you'd be looking at it and being like, okay, like obviously you take it, but I think losing that game 5 just makes it hurt a little bit more, right? Not only did you lose the Met series anyways, but you came out of it not looking as sportsmanship, you know, as the other team did. So, yeah, yes and no. I think I agree, and I don't agree at the same time. Also, you know, Tuesday is not a fun game mode, so I also think that that's something that I would have thought if I was in that situation.
That's fair. That's fair. I do want to give the shout out to Kiki there for the sportsmanship. That was not something that they had to do. Leaving when Roomski couldn't connect. That's definitely not in the rules. They never have to do that. But it was nice sportsmanship. But at the same time, and my argument's going to be the same, you have Hammer on your team. Are you really worried about sitting out in a 2v2 when you have Hammer on your team? Because I'm not.
That's true.
Like, it's just, you know, it's strength of the players right there. You got the SSL of the league. Like, I would not be worried about it at all. But anyway, past all that, that game's done. We're done talking about it. It's time for the final match of the day today, guys. And this is one that I've been looking forward to since it was announced last week. And that is going to be LumiMawcity versus Fox Clan. Two very close teams. Same record, I believe, at the moment. Both of them fighting for a higher spot here. One of them going to be able to get it. And I think these teams are very, very close, Docky. I'm very excited to see what this match has in store for us.
Yeah, this is you know, GC3 GC2 C1 against GC3 GC2 C1. So as equal as it can possibly be, and yeah, I think both teams here would love to have a win. Both teams kind of having a disappointing last week, so this will bode well, not just for confidence, but going into that mid-season, trying to get the extra leg up. You know, we talk about confidence, but go ahead, getting that extra confidence going into mid-season, but also just getting the like you're talking about, the leaderboard advantage as well.
Yeah, I mean, like, going into this match in particular, both of these guys, if I do look at the leaderboard real quick, just to make sure, Fox Clan is 5-5, LumiMawcity is 4-6, so it's not necessarily the same record. However, the winner of this, if it is LumiMawcity, would tie them both at 5 and 6, which means it would come down purely to game differential. So, depending on how that works, Fox Clan might be able to keep their position, or LumiMawcity might be able to move forward. But it's more than just Fox Clan they want to move forward through. They're underneath Genopause, Dignipause. There's so many other teams that they could move forward through with this win. So they're going to be hungry for that, as all these placement spots are really going to matter going into this this next week and for your first matchup in midseason. But let's start talking about the teams as everybody is in the lobby. We're getting ready to start here. Let's go ahead and talk about our lower place team right now. It is going to be LumiMawcity. It's going to be Arilax, Avid, and Levi. And Levi is one of those players that's really been impressing me on that back line throughout the entire season since they got picked up by LumiMawcity. Arilax and Avid, the duo coming through once again. It's got that Reverb Meezer vibe, Docky. This team has what they need to take this series, but it's going to be a tough one.
Yeah, they definitely do have what they need. But again, they'll have to be dialed in. They were not able to play last week. I don't know if they've had much time to practice. I'm gonna assume that they have, but you never know. We saw glimpses. We saw them have that kind of a similar passing playstyle that we've seen from this Fox Clan team, early on when they were starting to play together more often. But that's kind of not been the case more recently. They've gone for a lot more solo playstyle, and we'll have to see if that has any effect going up against a team that likes to play in the midfield more often than some of these other teams that we have. So yeah, we'll have to see if they're able to do that. I said this last time when I was casting. I've said the same phrase like too many times in the past 30 seconds. I think I said we'll have to see at least 4 times now. So I'm gonna stop saying that now.
Well, we'll have to see how many more times Saki says we'll have to see. But we'll have to talk about the players against LumiMawcity first. And that is going to be Fox Clan, which also has a very similar playstyle and composition to LumiMawcity. It's going to be Javian and Taka in that duo instead of Levi and Aerolax. And then we have Abyss on the backline, another C1 that has been doing phenomenal in that midfield, keeping the pressure for their team. I think it's really going to be down to how these C1s play against each other in this match to determine who's going to be able to win, as their team play styles just have so much similarity going into this match.
And I think that leads to a lot of kind of the weight that the C1s have on their teams. You would think that maybe on a team that's so top heavy, you could kind of throw anyone into that C1 spot, but I mean that's clearly not the case. And Cosmo prior to Abyss was a big factor in their wins, and Abyss recently has been a big factor in their success. So they had to sub out Abyss last week, and that they're having to adjust the rotations. I think caused them to have a little bit of a hiccup. No shade to I think it was Warstog that came in. It's just it was a new rotation that they had to form around. But Abyss coming back into the rotation as that regular third, I think gives them that edge that we've seen Fox Clan have in their a team that relies very very heavily on everyone being on that same page constantly, as the rotations are so tight. This is a team, like I said before, that likes to play in the midfield, that likes to pass the ball a lot, that likes to cut in rotation. And if you want to do that, you have to be really, really, really close with each other on where exactly you want to be and where you want the ball to go. So with their regular third come in, I think they have a really good chance of going back to that play style.
Yeah, I have to agree there. And let's take a look at the featured matchup, as this is our featured matchup of the week, guys. And we're seeing exactly what we're talking about right here in these keys to victory. Our key matchup, it's going to be Abyss and Levi. For Fox Clan, you got to find Abyss some opportunities. For LumiMawcity, you got to find Levi some offense as well. And, both of the teams, that's exactly what you want to do. You've got your two duos in Javian and Taka and Avid and Aerolax. You need to find a way for your C1 to be able to make the difference going into this match. The team that's going to be able to do that the best is going to have the most advantage going into this. But it's also going to be about momentum. Taking this first game today is going to make your life so much easier, because once you get the confidence of you being able to play against a similar play style very effectively, that's just going to help you continue the momentum into games 2, 3, possibly 4 and 5. If we get to a game 5, then I think it's a straight toss-up. Anybody can take it. But Daki, it's time for the final predictions of the day. We don't have Fire here for their prediction. We do have my prediction, and my prediction is going to be LumiMawcity in 5. I think it's going to be a very close match. I think that these guys all have what it takes to take the series, but lately, from what I've been noticing, LumiMawcity just has been popping off a little bit higher than Fox Clan. And I'm going to let the recency bias take me on that. So game 5, LumiMawcity. What do you got, Docky?
Good question. I want to give it to LumiMawcity, but I think Fox Clan back with their full team, that full rotation back again. I think they're going to be playing a game that is difficult for LumiMawcity to play. I think that, like I said, I have not seen as much passing plays from Airlax and Avid. And again, maybe that's just because we haven't seen them play recently. But that solo play kind of playstyle tends to get shut down by this Fox Clan team because they're so good at cutting in and shutting down those plays. So, you know, I do give that edge to Fox Clan. I still think it will be close. I do think this goes to game 5, but I have to give it to Fox Clan.
Well, it's time to see what the players have up their sleeves for this final match of day number 1, guys. It all comes down to this: LumiMawcity versus Fox Clan. The more upsets in the wing, or shall we see our higher seed take advantage once again? This is going to be one of the closest matchups I think we've had in RFDL history in terms of play style. So let's get this one started immediately. I'm just so excited to see what these teams have to offer us today, Docky. As we start off, a shot going a little bit high from Avid over to Airlax, popped out to the midfield by Javian, and Abyss going to try and take control in this first couple of seconds here in game number 1. Now Avid going to be able to clear this downfield, but Javian is back waiting. Airlax over to Avid. It might be open, but Taka gets in front of it at just the last second. We're already seeing a little bit of pressure coming out from LumiMawcity to start off this series.
Now with the ball floating exactly where Fox Clan I think wants it to. When we talk about like a midfield game and kind of an elusive theory in terms of a play style, right? You have, you know, offensive, defensive heavy, and then you have this kind of mysterious midfield gameplay. But this is exactly where Fox Clan likes the ball to be. They like to kind of set these plays up, go for those cuts, get the 50s, and make the opponent have to stretch for you, as there's a nice shooting opportunity, but it's a little bit too wide, unfortunately. Again, the theme that I'm seeing here is that already Fox Clan already trying to get those passing plays going, relying on each other, be in position, and they have been. Fortunately for them, the access has just not been there so far, but as it stands, Fox Clan having an advantage, but that's a big miss, unfortunately, for the side of Fox Clan. But Velocity able to take advantage. Alex has the shooting opportunity, just fantastic save from Javian. We'll put that one away and go back to that midfield again. And like you're saying, we do have a little bit of back and forth here, I think, coming out of this, as we do have that 0-0 here early on, the first minute and a half.
And another thing both these teams are really good at, as much as their offense is good, they are also very stalwart on the defense. It's not something that we have to talk about a lot when it comes to these teams in particular, just because their offense has been so dominant in the league. But they are not easy to score on either, and that is really going to make the difference. Something else that might make the difference of whatever the heck we're seeing out of Abyss here with this car. And when it comes to car changes, usually in this matchup in particular, I would be expecting to see a car change from Levi, as usually when we see them go down, he switches to the backmobile for LumiMawcity, and it usually works out in their favor. This might work out in Fox Clan's favor, but it's going to be off the post and out. And we remain tied with about half the game remaining. Will they be able to find a comeback here for Fox Clan? Doesn't look likely, as it goes up to the midfield. That's going to be a miss. Avid there for the save. But not going to have a lot of boost on the entire side of LumiMawcity. They're going to have to focus on Airlax to allow that to be cleared. But the pressure in the midfield is doing so well from Fox Clan.
I think back in our day, we used to call this peppering the net. Fox Clan not able to get shots accurately on, but they've had so much pressure recently, kind of waiting for LumiMawcity to crack, as they've had what seems like the entirety of possession. They've been on offense for what feels like the majority of the game. A double commit, though, might make things a little bit difficult for Abyss, having to get a really good defensive touch, and does. That's a really good touch from Abyss. Absolutely needed to get a good one. That would have been for sure a goal otherwise. Again, though, Fox Clan doing a really good job of just not letting the ball get too far away of them, taking control of this one. See another 50 come through here. And again, I'm seeing, you know, like that kind of just patience. It's a level of confidence from Fox Clan. They're not getting too worried by some of these offensive chances that LumiMawcity have had. They've had a few chances, but every single time they've had it, Fox Clan seemingly not faltering at all. Of course, as I say that, here's a great opportunity, but once again sent away by Javian. Taka gets a really nice save off of the secondary shot from Airlax, but once again, though, the defense from Fox Clan looking to clamp down.
And for both these teams, one opportunity is all either of them really need to find a goal into the back of the net. We're just looking for which team is going to have the defensive mishap first. It might be LumiMawcity here. However, no one's going to be able to go up here. Double commit between Avid and Aerolax, but Aerolax goes down quick, able to recover, and we'll get this ball out of the midfield. Javian gonna have to pick up this touch over to Taka, looking like a pass over to Javian. It's gonna be up high. Easy save for Avid there. Now pass over to Levi. That could have been the chance that LumiMawcity needed, but no one able to get a touch on that ball. And now a bit of a scramble in the last 20 seconds of game number 1, as Aerolax has to get that boost. Looking for a touch off of Abyss, not able to find it. Avid will have possession of this ball. Good 50 from Taka over to the side. Final 10 seconds. Winding down in this game number 1. Are we going to see an early 0-0 overtime as Javian puts a shot on, saved by Avid, and this might go into the back of the net. Taka with the first goal of the game at 0 seconds, and Fox Clan goes up by 1.
What else could it be? Javian to Taka. It's a perfect pass off the backboard. Much awkwardness in the defense from LumiMawcity trying to jump for that one, just not getting to it in time, and such a great play. That's a great Rocket League. The passing plays, I'm absolutely a fan of trusting your teammates to be there for the shot. And that's exactly how they want to win that game, getting those passing plays going. And like I said, fight. Who else could it be?
Who else could you be? Could it be is right. And honestly, I did say that this is going to be one of the closest matches that we've had in RFDL so far. And it's already like as close as it can get. 0 second goal coming out from top. Again, I don't know how to control my own screens, guys, but my goodness. Both these teams are looking so good. It's just that one little push forward to the front post that allows that angle to be found by Taka. And that is all that's needed for Fox Clan. And that is what makes both of these teams so dangerous. Any opportunity, and they're going to be able to find the back of the net. Now we're going to have to see what LumiMawcity can do coming into game 2 to adapt to this and try and tie this game up. They do not want to lose a game number 2, as a reverse sweep is going to be extremely difficult for either of these teams.
Going up against that treble match point is a difficult task for anyone. But, you know, like you were saying, this has been incredibly close. I mean, that was a 0 second goal, an absolutely beautiful one. But if you're LumiMawcity, you held them to 0 goals for 5 minutes straight. Do that again. Just don't let that last one go in. See if they're able to do that. We have, once again, a fresh set of zeros. We go into game number 2 here, and LumiMawcity hoping to get some of that scoring going.
Start us off. It's going to be Javian trying to take this out of their side. And something I want to see from LumiMawcity here is just a little bit more pressure here in the midfield. It seems like they've been giving a little bit more space to Fox Clan in the midfield, which is allowing them to set up for some of these passes a bit more. As you can see right there, shot coming out from Javian, this time stopped by Avid, but a little far back in the net. They're going to need to push forward and try to take some of these chances a little bit faster, as it just seems like Fox Clan kind of just outspeeding them, and that's giving them a lot of chances on the LumiMawcity net. How they're going to do that is beyond me at this point, but we do see Levi changing cars immediately. Not going to help out in this situation, though, as Abyss gets the first goal for Fox Clan.
And it's a great play on the miss there. The tough catch to get there for Levi. Unfortunately, does not get the touch there. And great play to play that miss, as a lot of players sometimes kind of expect the touch, start to rotate out and they're not there for the shot. But Levi, after having had that miss on the backboard, immediately able to make up for that mistake with a very quick goal to bring this back to equal. It's a really nice cheat up, gets the beat over 2, and just over 4 minutes left. We are already back to zeros again. I say zeros, we are back to a equal game. Might as well be zeros. We are completely back to square one. No one seemingly have the advantage, but quickly enough, Fox Clan trying to take that goal right back, but that one pings off of the post, and that one will go off to the side. And Fox Clan definitely want to have that one back.
Yeah, and my goodness, lots of chances coming up for both these teams right now. And I wanted to say with Levi, like, he scores all these goals whenever he changes to the Batmobile. Why does he not just start off in the Batmobile to start these games. Seems like that would just be the best move. He seems to just be so well placed in his accuracy when he's on that, as unfortunately, he is going to take my words from me, as he does not get a touch on that opportunity. But it wasn't a close shot though. Now Levi trying once again, maybe just getting a little bit too high on the ball here. Avid going to have to take this over. 3 minutes left. Both of these teams tied. And as we said before, LumiMawcity almost in a must-win game, but they really don't want to allow Fox Clan to take the momentum from game one and do any more damage with it. Now, Taka to Javian. Once again, the combo comes through. The save was there, but unfortunately, a defensive blunder. And Fox Clan up by 1 once again.
This is exactly what you want to see. It's such a good pass. The save, unfortunately, hits off the post, goes back into the middle. I think Levi was there trying to carry that one out, but the post read is such a difficult read to make. It bounces a little bit too far forward, and that's an own goal that has to hurt. Fortunately for the side of LumiMawcity, but fortunately for Fox Clan, that will give them that lead back once again. And we talked about it's an unfortunate bounce, but the passing plays from Javian and Fox Clan, this has been, you know, I'm noticing, Fade, that we tend to have themes. I don't know if this is something that is scripted, you know, but my goodness, we had the team plays from Meezer and Reverb, then we had the team plays between Kiki and Hammer, and in this game, Javian and Taka.
Yeah, and we'll have to see if we can get a little bit more out of LumiMawcity here. As they're now down by 2. It's going to be an interesting spot for the first time that a lead this far has existed in this series. Gonna have to see how they can bounce back. They need to figure out a way to stem this bleeding quick. As Abyss going up for another shot off the crossbar. Javian touches it, or he misses the touch. What I was trying to say. Taka, another shot, and it just seems like the aggression for Fox Clan keeps ramping up more and more. Meanwhile, Aerox having to get this forward. Levi, no touch there, but it almost faked out the defense. With a minute 44 and the defense to go up against, you're gonna need to score soon if you're LumiMawcity.
Yeah, definitely. And, you know, a minute and a half, not impossible. Not only do you need to score quickly, you need to shut down this offensive firepower that we've seen from Fox Clan. Just not really been able to get a grasp on some of the passing plays that we've seen from the two of them. They've kind of had free reign in this game. They didn't have as much last game. We didn't really see, you know, obviously it was the 0-second goal that went in that game, but 3 goals in this game. Obviously you do not want to give them that momentum. You don't want to give them that confidence, but it's so tough to deal with that confidence when they're playing as well as they have been. And obviously the first step to this comeback is going to be shutting this team down, but you're not going to do well at that if you're letting Taka take shots like this. Another really good setup from Javian, and fortunate miss there from Levi. That's a really tough angle to read, but Taka will slot that every single time. And 51 seconds, 3-goal lead. This one might be over. Again, though, nothing is impossible.
I'm not gonna lie, I think I looked away and I missed that 3rd goal from Fox Clan, but I definitely got that 4th one in the replay, so hopefully that 3rd goal was not too impressive. As unfortunately, a bit of a miss on NA production, but Fox Clan is looking really good right now, and not to say that LumiMawcity isn't. They're looking really good as well. It's just Fox Clan has taken the momentum from that first game win, and they've done so much with it, and that save from Abyss, absolutely otherworldly coming out from the C1 here, as it seems like Fox Clan knew what the keys to victory were to start this match out. Of course, it's not going to be all Fox Clan, as Aerox is going to get a goal. 2 seconds, or 2 goals, should I say, with 7 seconds left. Isn't impossible, Docky, but it's going to be a tough one.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, nothing is impossible, but a tough one, absolutely. As this is a good start off the kickoff, but unfortunately that's not the touch I think Avid wanted, and that will cause it to go to 0 seconds. Fox Clan takes this second game. That puts them on triple match point, and Yeah, my goodness. Like I said, the themes of today are the team plays, the passing plays for both of these players here in Javian and Taka. We had that happen in the last 2 games, and it's happening now. And yeah, what do you do, you know, other than just try to shut down these passing plays between the two of them? They've been so lethal. It leads to 4 goals between, you know, the 3 of them on this Fox Clan team. The passing play is just so difficult to deal with.
Yeah, and I mean, when you're playing sort of the mirror match that you have in this matchup where both your playstyles are so similar, you would think it would be easier for a team to know kind of what that weakness of that style would be. But it just seems like every single facet of Fox Clan's game right now has just been absolutely stellar. They haven't been making too many mistakes on the back line. Their midfield pressure has been so strong. And the JV and the Taka passing plays have been sublime. This is literally just, what can you do about that? Like, they just look so good going into this this series, much faster than I thought that they would, honestly. I thought it was going to be very much back and forth. But there's still at least one more game in this series. And if you're LumiMawcity, you're going to want to make that 3 more games. It's now you need to reverse sweep to get this match in your favor. Will they be able to do that? Let's go ahead to the pitch and find out, as Abyss is going to get control of the kickoff. Trying to pass that down immediately. That could have been really good for Fox Clan to start off there with a goal. But not able to do so yet. Taka playing defense here. Gonna pop it out. Javian a little late to that ball, and Levi going to take advantage of that. Now switching over to the Dominus. We'll see if that gives him any luck going into this reverse sweep situation. Now, only 30 seconds have gone, but we're seeing quite a lot more opportunity for LumiMawcity. We're seeing the ball in the Fox Clan half a lot more than we have been seeing it previously to start the game off, and that is definitely going to be good if you are a LumiMawcity fan.
Definitely shutting down those passing plays, like you're saying. Key here, but this one might go all the way, and it does. Taka's able to just float that one over the entirety of the LumiMawcity defense. They think they got a little bit too antsy. They had a scoring opportunity there, and I think they unfortunately went all in on it, but that will lead to a relatively free goal there. It's a nice shot, though, regardless, from Taka to make sure that that one does not go too high. That's not what you want to see if you're at LumiMawcity. You definitely do not want to be going down here in this game number 3, where you are on the chance of being swept. Being swept? I think being swept is the correct grammar there. But regardless, 352, 351, that's a lot of time to come back. We've seen them play, I think, a little bit better in this game number 3. We'll have to see if they're able to take this one and equalize.
Javian going to look for a double tap over to Taka. It's going to be off the crossbar and out. And that's going to be a boon for LumiMawcity here. They're going to have to see if they can take advantage. But Javian just already back in position. Not needed for that touch, as the rest of the team also got back. But it just seems like those rotations backfield have been going so well. Taka with an amazing save off their own crossbar to continue on the defensive line of Fox Clan. Now another shot. Abbott is going to have this one. And my goodness, this is so back and forth. I'm just wondering when the next goal is going to be scored next.
For LumiMawcity, you definitely want the next score to be you guys. This going down, I think 2 here might not deflate the team's momentum, but definitely a massive dent in it. Again, though, they've done a really good job, I think, of quelling this Fox Clan team. They have been all over the place in terms of controlling this ball, as Javian gets a massive, nasty dunk on Aerolax. This is such a good play here. Gets the first touch, uses the flip to get more momentum, notices immediately where Aerolax is hitting that ball, and absolutely dunks him. I just jinxed it. I said if you're LumiMawcity, you definitely don't want to be going down 2 here, but exactly what we see happen here is Fox Clan finds themselves up 2 again.
And like I said, I feel like LumiMawcity is playing a great game so far, but it just seems like Fox Clan is playing at a whole different level than we've been seeing from them recently. This might be the best that Fox Clan has looked in the entirety of the league right now, as they continue on with this 2-goal lead in game number 3. LumiMawcity definitely picking the wrong week to have to go up against this squad, as it seems like they're just everywhere that they could possibly be in the right spot for this. But 2 minutes left. LumiMawcity, not out of this one just yet. You know that they have the potential to tie this game back up. As Aerolax tries to play that past Taka. Taka puts it up high. Bit of a change in the wins here, as we're starting to see a little bit more aggression on the LumiMawcity side. But Javian just playing that dribble so well past the first man of LumiMawcity. And suddenly it's back in the blue corner.
Yeah, and it's just so difficult to deal with a team that's this consistent in that midfield game. As Javian will put another one in. That's an unfortunate miss on the backboard. I'm not entirely sure. It was, oh, this is a missed touch as well. It's unfortunate. I say missed touch. It counted as a touch, but I don't know if that one fully counts as a touch. But just an unfortunate bounce there. Goes immediately down, and Javian's going to be the only one there to get that read. And a minute and a half left. This 3-goal lead, seemingly insurmountable. Of course, I've said before, nothing is impossible. They will need to start scoring immediately if they won't have a chance in this series. Of course, if they do lose this one, that is it for them, as this will end in a sweep. But like you were saying, this is the best I think I've seen Fox Clan play in a while. They have so much trust in each other. The passing, rotations, it seems like every single time anyone's on the ball, they trust that there's going to have a teammate that they can rely on, and that is seemingly working so well in their favor.
Not just that, but it just seems like every touch that Fox Clan is making is being made with a very specific purpose. And it just seems like the entire team, the comms are up, they're on the same page about every single thing that's being done on the field. It's just been a little easy for them going into this. And I mean, to say that against a team like LumiMawcity is not easy. You know how good this team has played before. You know how well that chemistry comes out from Levi, Avid, and Aerolax. So to be able to shut them down as thoroughly as you have in this series is definitely a feat, and it is a statement going into mid-season that this team is not just here to play, but they're here to win. And with the last 3 seconds popping down, Javian not going to allow that last one to go in, and Fox Clan going to take it in a sweep.
Oh my goodness, and on top of that, holding LumiMawcity to 0 goals for 2 out of the 3 games. They did a ridiculous job shutting down any offense that they had, and I don't think I've seen a showing like that in a long time, especially not from this Fox Clan team. They've played well, but they have not played this well so far. And this team has unlocked, seemingly. I think they have a lot of good things to show us, but my goodness, Fade. This was a good showing for both teams, but what a ridiculous showing from Fox Clan.
All I can say is that if you're LumiMawcity, you are not mad at that performance, because they really did try to come in and play their game, and they did a good job of doing that. But Fox Clan has absolutely impressed me with this performance. As I said, this is a statement going into the mid-season tournament that they are here to take that playoff spot early and get all the way clinched up during the mid-season tournament. If they continue to play like that, I could easily see it happening. That was a season 0 Black Bunny gaming level of performance from Fox Clan there. And I do not give that out lightly. That was absolutely incredible from them. And my goodness, if they're looking like that in a couple of weeks when we're doing the mid-season tournament, do we even need to run the tournament at that point?
Yeah, I'm not certain, but I definitely would be terrified to go up against them, especially having to play crew battles against them. You'd have to play 2s and 1s, and everyone on that team is capable of putting up a really good 1s and 2s showing. So yeah, if they're looking this good going into mid-season, I definitely have a really good chance to take the whole thing.
Yeah, and I mean, with that, guys, I mean, I hate to end it on sweep, but that is the last match of the day. We had some really exciting games today. We had a game 3, a game 4, and a game 5. So going across the entire spectrum of amount of games that can be played today. And that's only halfway through the week. We still have another 3 matches to be had for you guys tomorrow. At the end of that we will have the final bracket to start mid-season tournament. And along with that, we're going to have the final seeding going into the second half of league play, and we'll be able to release the match schedule order for that one. And I definitely want to see what the difference is between this season and last season, where last season, the second half of league play was exactly the same as the first half. You played the same team at exactly the same time. You always had the same amount of weeks between playing the teams. This time, you're not going to get the same amount of time to prepare for these teams that you've played once before. You might be playing a Fox Clan a lot sooner than you did in your first half, or you might be playing against the Twisted Tails a lot later than you would have expected to going into this. So it's going to shake up a lot of how these teams prepare for these matches, and I'm very excited to see that. But we have one more day of action before we go on a bit of a break between week 11 and the mid-season tournament. We're going to give all of you guys a lot of time to practice those 2s and those 1s gameplays to make sure that everybody is in peak form for playing for that playoff spot. But Daki, any final thoughts on day number 1 of the final week of this half of league play? That's a mouthful.
It is, and normally this is where I would say GG's, but GG's to everyone. And then, like I said, like Fade had said, going into the mid-season, get a lot of time to figure out a lot of these rotations. Definitely don't worry too much, as we're halfway through, so we got a lot more games to play, a lot more fun to be had, and I'm really happy with how everyone's been playing and improving. So hopefully everyone's having a lot of fun, and GG's to everybody.
Yeah, GG's is right, guys. We have 3 more matches for you guys tomorrow to end this first half of league play. You guys aren't going to want to miss it. Make sure to tune in here tomorrow at 3 p.m. EST, as always, to continue on with the rest of our league play journey. Until then, guys, have a great night, and we will see you all tomorrow for day number 2.
Jeez.
Slide.